we go. MJ Morning Show. First live show of the year. First live show of 2023. Man, it's weird to say that. Every single year is just weird to say, the new year. But, as far as like making the mistake and writing the wrong date on checks, who the hell writes checks anymore?
Yeah, the lady in front of me at Publix. I saw my first check in forever.
Are you serious?
Yes. And I'm just giving her the stare, the look.
When the hell was this?
Yeah, it was maybe like New Year's Eve. It was New Year's Eve because the store closed early.
Yeah, well, then it's still 2022.
You asked who writes checks.
Oh, that's true.
Okay,
yes, that is correct.
I was just talking to my parents about this because I was making fun of them because they still balance their checkbooks.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? Who does that?
Oh, my God. I do everything online. I mean, literally, I can't tell you last time I wrote an actual check.
I think when I had an apartment, maybe. Turn in the check.
We had to write a check to my kid's school, and my wife found a check from our bank with our account number 3 banks ago. It was like a Wachovia check.
Let me guess, you wrote it?
Yeah, she wrote it. I was like, honey, Wachovia's been out of business for like 15 years.
What did Wachovia become? Was that Wells Fargo? Did Wachovia become...
4th, 5th, 9th? What is it?
Third?
Who the hell knows that?
1/4?
I was like, this bank doesn't exist. And she's like, well, the numbers are the same. So
I just wrote a check to pay a water bill.
What?
Yeah, I did. Of course I did.
Hold on.
Who writes the check? Roxanne writes the check.
You wrote a check? I mean, I do it all online. It's all bill pay.
No, I can't get online on Hillsborough County Water. I cannot, for some reason, I can't do it.
The hell?
So I have to send a check every 3 months.
My water bill is City of Tampa. You pay a water bill in Hillsborough County?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I live in the city of Tampa, so I do that. Anyway, welcome everybody. The MJ Morning Show is back. We are live on this Tuesday, the 3rd of January. Some folks were like, I thought you decided to re-sign your contract and then you weren't here yesterday. Well, because yesterday was the actual federal observation of New Year's Day. Now, New Year's Day fell on a Sunday. Jan 1 was Sunday, and the observation day was yesterday. And I was getting emails, and, oh, my, I was having a heart attack. Why weren't you there? And, they were playing music, and they didn't have Best Of on. Listen, I would have played Best Of yesterday, but Ted decided that, it's a holiday, so we're just going to play
more music weekend. Yeah.
More music, more fun.
Oh, really? There was music on yesterday?
Yeah. Well, it was the 80s and more.
Yeah, exactly. So. Oh, my God. So we turned on Monday Night Football last night after the drama, and it wasn't even because we had found out about the drama. We had known because we turned on Monday Night Football just minutes after the game was delayed, after the hit on the field that dropped the Bills player. Now, Michelle, I'm doing work. I'm sitting on the couch in the living room last night, and I'm doing show prep. I'm knee deep. I'm trying to catch up, trying to line things up. I'm trying to just go through all of the stories that I had put aside, and I'm printing up all my emails and notes to myself. And Michelle's like, "Hey, let's watch Monday Night Football." And I just had the TV on. I just had background noise on, and I wasn't really paying attention to anything. And Michelle comes down and says, "Hey, isn't there Monday Night Football tonight?" I said, "Yeah, I think the Bills are on." And she said, "Well, can you put it on?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I flip it over.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah. Oh, what do you mean weird?
She's a sports fan of the family.
You're like, I guess I really want to watch Gilmore Girls.
No, Michelle loves watching football.
Weird.
I like watching NFL on the weekends or whatever the story is, or Monday Night Football.
Yeah, football, man.
We've watched a couple of the Amazon Prime Thursday Night Football games, which there just seems to be something missing. There's like, they're just getting up to speed with the Amazon Thursday Prime Football. But last night we turned the TV on, and it was as the game was suspended. It was a couple of minutes after the hit that took down Damar Hamlin, the Buffalo Bills safety.
What happened to the guy?
At this point, they're saying he had a heart attack.
Yeah, it was like a pretty routine hit. It wasn't a major hit like you see and go, oh my gosh, that's going to break someone's neck or something like that.
So we saw I'm trying to remember. You know what? We didn't even see the replay. They didn't even show once he was out and they had cut away from the field and the players were surrounding him. They didn't even show the replay.
Yeah, because they probably weren't sure if the guy was dead or not.
So we had to go to Twitter. We went to Twitter last night, and people had started to post the hit that took Damar Hamlin down, and the word. And that's what I said to Michelle before there was any word. Michelle said to me, "Hey, what do you think happened?" And we're gathered around at my cell phone. I just found the replay that somebody had quickly posted on just a Twitter account. And Michelle's like, what the hell do you think happened? I'm like, well, look at this. Look, he took a hit to the chest. Then you can see the Bengals helmet, roll into his chest and the shoulder. He took a heavy hit to the chest. And what I said to Michelle, I'm like, it's something with his heart. And I'm not a cardiologist, obviously. I'm just some goofball on the radio.
Oh, my God. I got to go to my favorite YouTube channel. There's a doctor who covers all kinds of these injuries.
Are you serious? Well, see what he has to say. But what I said to Michelle, she said, what do you think happened? And I said, look at the hit. It's like a slam to his chest. I'm guessing that it's something with his heart. Ooh. And I said, I don't know whether it was a ruptured aorta or whether it was a cardiac arrest, but the word now is that he suffered a cardiac arrest.
Well, he completely stood up after he was tackled.
Right.
Oh, my God.
And then just fell backwards.
Fell backwards, right.
He was tackled, he may. It's sort of like he may. If you look at the replay, he made the tackle, but it was. And again, they stopped playing the replay, but it is available. You can find it, online on social media, and it seemed like a routine hit where they just get up. So he gets up, and then he just falls backward and drops like a rock. Is what happened. And I said to Michelle right away, something with his heart. And now the news reports late last night and overnight are that he had a cardiac arrest and that his recovery could be clearly hinging on how long he was suffering a heart attack or cardiac arrest after the collapse, according to medical experts.
Is this like a pre-existing condition?
Again,
because these guys get tested all the time.
We don't know. I mean, there are a lot of questions here. Some are speculating that it was just a hard hit at just the fraction of a second that the heart was in a more vulnerable state during a certain part of the heartbeat. So it could come down to just crazy timing on what took Damar Hamlin down.
Well, you think as many people are tackled and play football all the time, that crazy timing would happen more often. If it was a timing thing, that makes me think it's
I've never
something
seen
else.
anything like this.
CPR was administered on the field. I had seen a report that it was 9 minutes, that they did 9 minutes of CPR on the field, then they backed the ambulance onto the field. I mean, I can't tell you the last time that an NFL game was canceled. 5 minutes in. I mean, they were literally 5 minutes and 38 seconds into the first quarter. Monday Night Football on ESPN and ABC last night. And boom, 5 minutes, 38 seconds in, the game was suspended and obviously never came back. All right, we're just getting rolling here, folks. The MJ Morning Show back live. MJ here with Froggy and Roxanne and Fester. Andrew, our producer. We're all here. Back in a second, just getting rolling here on a Tuesday here in 2023. MJ Morning Show, Q105. Kathy's in for Pat in traffic. Let's go. as we're just getting rolling here on a Tuesday. Tuesday feels like a Monday. The first MJ Morning Show of 2023. And thanks for everybody's concern over the holidays on whether I was going to, re-sign my contract. Again, contract offer was on the table, and it just, we had a change of general managers in the middle of my contract negotiations. Now, technically, I have not signed yet. I verbally agreed. So, little insight here. I have not actually signed the extension on the dotted line. So there's more detail. I'll get to that later on, probably next hour. So, what are the terms? And it is a contract extension, and they wanted me to extend for more than I actually have agreed to. So I'm going to give the crew the details as well as you, because the whole crew, we've been gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we found out via social media, just like everybody else.
I kept up my end of the bargain with my annual Christmas gift to everybody on the crew by not talking to them for 2 weeks. So I have no idea what's going on.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, you did tell your Instagram people before us.
Yeah.
All right, so listen, you guys can gripe and bitch and moan.
It's a little
No,
weird.
it's fine. It's fine. We don't care. Whatever.
We'll talk about it next hour. So 7 o'clock. Sometime after 7:30 or so, I'll get into the details. And, it's an extension to my current contract. I have not actually signed. I verbally agreed. So I'll get into all the details coming up in just a bit. Fester, do you have the actual original? Is that the original play-by-play on the original? What do you have that you on the social there? Because we've got some audio, and the audio, I wasn't recording because typically, whatever I watch, I record. That is my policy. If I'm watching something, I'm making sure that the DVR is recording in case something pops up. Whatever the audio bite might be, whether it's a sports event or whether it's even just a television show. If I'm watching it, I record because inevitably there might be some, oh my God, I can use that on the show. And I just made a policy a long time ago. If I'm watching, I'm recording. The problem last night with the whole Monday Night Football incident and the Buffalo Bills player that was, incapacitated on the field in, one of the craziest things that we've seen in professional live sports in a long time. I turned it on right after the actual event because Michelle came downstairs. I mentioned this at the opening of the show. Michelle came downstairs. We're still getting, reorganized and getting acclimated because we got back late on Sunday night. And then yesterday, we slept late. We're trying to get back on schedule because we spent the last 2 weeks in the Pacific time zone. We were in British Columbia, Canada, up in Whistler, Blackcomb area. And listen, after 2 weeks, you get acclimated to the new time zone. So we're just trying to get acclimated. So yesterday, we're just kind of getting into the swing of things and just getting things on track for the week and just getting back from 2 weeks of vacation. And Michelle comes down and says, hey, isn't Monday Night Football on? I'm like, because, I kept thinking that last night was Sunday and not Monday. You know how that is. And she comes down and says, hey, isn't Monday Night Football on? I'm like, yeah. So I turn it on, and I turned it on just a couple of minutes after the game had been suspended and they had stopped playing because of the incident on the field. And, of course, I started recording instantly. But, again, Andrew, you were looking online. We've been looking everywhere for the original high-quality audio. Now, Festa, you think you found it?
I think this is the replay from ESPN.
Yeah,
because they did show it twice. They showed it twice.
Right.
After it was the initial play, and then it was 2 replays.
Yeah,
I don't
really
know.
Close replays. It was kind of brutal.
I don't know. And then they realized the severity of it, and they're like, okay, we're never going to show this again.
And they didn't. They did not show that replay. Now, there's a bunch of the replays are available on Twitter. People posted clips off of their DVRs. All right, so what are you going to play now, Fester?
All right, I'm playing this off of Twitter, off of the Jim Fannin show. Who
I love Jim Fannin.
The Jim Fannin show.
I don't know.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Hey, it's Jim Fannin.
I don't know who he is.
Hey, Jim Fannin over here, folks.
I hope you're a fan of the Fannin show.
Jim Fannin show.
I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he put it on his Twitter, and that's where I got it.
Well, I am a nice guy.
All right, roll it. Let me hear this. Go ahead.
All right.
Hit play. Okay. All right, nobody's talking.
Okay, that is
It's
Okay, this is the replay.
Okay.
not what any of us want to see, and everybody's around him, and just hope that he's going to be okay.
So that's Troy Aikman right there, because Joe Buck and Troy.
So we'll take another break here in Cincinnati.
So this is this is the second or third replay that ESPN aired, or the original or one of the two replays with the commentators just being quiet and watching.
Yeah, because they're trying to figure it out because it's not like that vicious hit where they go, oh.
Well, by this time they know that there's aggressive CPR happening on the field.
And players had gathered around to kind of shield what was going on. Mm-hmm. Now, Andrew, you pulled this audio, and the quality's not great. It's almost like just what? Someone's
you have to remember, NFL is very protective about their product. So it's tough to find certain items out there.
Right, all right. Here we go. Listen to this.
This is where Joe Burrow is so good.
And now another Bills player is down.
Tell exactly who that is. Maybe Hamlin.
All right, so that's the original audio after the hit, and you can tell somebody just recorded that off the TV speaker on their cell phone, is what that sounds like.
It's time to go to Best Buy and get a new TV.
Yes, Andrew.
Yes, when the play actually originally happened live, play-by-play, they cut away right before he fell down because they didn't know that was coming.
Yeah.
Right. They weren't watching for that.
Right.
And you got to be careful, like you said, with the NFL, like sharing clips, because if you get caught doing that, you'll be haunted by the ghost of Steve Sable for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Steve Sable.
If this would have only happened on the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
I'm here to get you.
Yeah, I was looking at just all of the speculation, all of the reports. We have heard, obviously, officially overnight, it came out that Damar Hamlin did suffer a cardiac arrest. Just the response from like the play-by-play team, then also the studio analysts over at ESPN, like Booger McFarland. We all know Booger McFarland from his time here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Booger McFarland is well known here in the Tampa Bay area, obviously. And Booger was like speechless.
He's a player, and he has a different perspective than somebody like Adam Schefter, who's just like a reporter. And I felt the emotion and the passion and the pain in his voice watching him, fill the time and talk about what he sees and what he's feeling, what he thinks the players are feeling.
The question is, when will they replay the game? Obviously, it's a crucial game as far as establishing who is going to lead in the AFC as we're heading toward, obviously postseason play here and the Super Bowl coming up in just over a month. So the NFL has a lot of scrambling. When are they going to reschedule this game? I mean, I can't remember. Has this ever? I know that Michelle found a story last night that a player did die on the field back in 1971. I've got it in my pile. We'll get to that later on. But a player did drop dead on the field. It was 1971, and I can give you the background on that. But for an NFL game, and this is a very important game between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills, establishing the pecking order in the AFC.
Right.
This is real. This is the battle for the AFC lead here, as far as the top seed. So when is the NFL going to reschedule? I mean, that's a pretty big feat to reschedule an NFL game. Where would they reschedule it? In Cincinnati? And when would it happen? Yes, Andrew, do you have any new information on this?
Not new information, but both teams play next weekend, so it's not like we can go too far into this week and still have them play next weekend.
Okay, so
that's a good point.
Luckily,
yeah,
the NFL has some very recent experience with quickly moving games.
Because of COVID.
Because of the COVID year. Games were played on Wednesday. Games were played on Thursday the week before, and then moved to Tuesday the next week. Yeah. So I know the playoffs are coming up, and the season has
but wait a
date
second,
on
but
Sunday.
Both teams have games this Sunday.
Right, but if they play on Wednesday, it would be a similar time off to a Sunday-Thursday game.
You're thinking too much, guys. Go by what helmet would kill the other one.
Okay,
Bill or Bengals?
Play Wednesday. That's tomorrow. Festa. Today is Tuesday.
Yeah, play tomorrow.
So are they going to be able to slap that thing? Where are the Bills? Did the Bills get on the plane and fly home, or are the Bills still in Cincinnati?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't think anybody's worried about that right now.
Who would win in a fight, a buffalo or a tiger?
I say we go with that route. Probably a Bengal.
Oh, is this your silly thing on which?
Yeah.
What mascot would fare better in a battle?
I mean, that's the most easiest way to handle this: a Bill or a Bengal. What the hell is a Bill anyway? A bird?
A bill is a wild, wild west kind of thing, isn't it? It was
Buffalo Bills?
Yeah, Buffalo Bill.
Oh, it's a buffalo.
But their mascot's a buffalo.
No.
Their mascot's a buffalo.
Okay.
It's a human,
I mean,
right?
The city is Buffalo.
Why isn't their mascot a chicken wing? I mean, if you want to be what
don't
Buffalo
know.
is known for.
Or a duck bill.
Or
The
crappy-
Buffalo Hot Wings
Yeah.
or something, yeah. Anyway, here's Joe Buck.
They have been administering CPR through these past 2 breaks that we've taken. As Lisa said, DeMar Hamlin has been down for over 9 minutes now.
Reports are that they were administering CPR for 9 minutes on the field, and there were also 2 defibrillator shocks as well, according to reports, before he was loaded into the ambulance. And they backed the ambulance right onto the field. And again, that game never resumed, only 5 minutes, 38 seconds into the first quarter. All right, much more on this later on. Let's try to shift a little bit. When we get back in minutes, guess what's back in 2023? I haven't canceled it.
Morons in the news?
That's right. Let's lighten up the mood with little morons in the news. Yeah, good pile. Next, on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Back in a second. 637 MJ Morning Show. MJ with the crew here. First show live in 2023. 637 and early Morons of the News ready to roll. And as we roll into the new year, never a shortage of Morons of the News. The Morons never let us down. I mean, have we ever had a day where the Morons let us down? Of course not. No. There's just a whole array of these idiots, and as I always say, this is like a self-help segment because no matter how rough things might be for you, you might be down in the dumps or whatever, this ought to lift you up because these idiot stories, I mean, things can't be worse in your life than some of these deals. All right, local story right off the bat. Got a story locally here in Pinellas County, Madeira Beach to be specific. I'm trying to figure out what the hell this dude's deal was, but a guy walks into a vape shop, into a smoke shop, and impersonates a special agent with the U.S. Air Force. He's flashing some badge.
That's bad.
All right.
Can't do that.
I don't know what this guy's deal was, but this guy goes into a vape and smoke shop. According to the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, they arrested Stephen Scott, 37 years old, and he goes into the Higher Up Smoke Shop. Of course, it's called the Higher Up Smoke Shop.
What did he do?
He rolls in actually weeks ago. This was earlier in December, and he flashes a gold badge. Right? He's got a gold badge. You ever see the cops that have the badge? Usually it's the undercover guys or women that they've got like a badge on
around their neck.
Either a lanyard or
like that metal chain.
Yeah, what do you call that metal chain thing?
It's like a bead chain.
It's a lanyard.
What is that? No, it's a bead. It's that bead chain. You know what? That little clip, and you got to put the ball into the little socket. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what it's called, but I know what
Keychain
it
chain?
is.
It's like a keychain, bead chain. There's got to be a name for that thing, but I mean, we know what it is, but we can't even come up with.
It's like the stuff that pens or like at the bank.
Yeah.
Oh, that little beady stuff.
Yeah,
Wow,
or
what
at
is
the
that called?
or at the post office.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to click it into place too.
Yeah, it's real fun. Yeah, I look forward to that. Yeah, putting that one ball into that little hole, into that
There's
little
some
socket.
satisfaction there.
Yeah.
You know, I follow a great YouTube channel where it's nothing but cops acting like cops and getting busted. And I saw one where
Whoa. Hold on.
No. People acting like cops.
Yeah.
You said cops acting like cops.
He was wrong.
Cops
Hold on.
busting people acting like cops.
So so it's there's a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
People impersonating police officers.
That's all it is. Every day, great videos. And the last one I saw yesterday, a guy was going to a Wendy's every day and getting
the law enforcement discount.
Yeah, the law enforcement discount, and he would order like $22 worth of food. He's a big fat guy, and it would come down to and he would go, "Oh, I get the discount, right?" Because he had a body cam on. He caught himself getting busted, and she's like, "All right, here's your discount," and it came down to $7. And he walks outside and he gets busted by the police because he was doing it for like a year, and they called in on him.
Oh,
finally.
really? Well,
but I didn't know you got discount for being an officer.
Hey, yes, a lot of restaurants. Listen, I'll give you specifics. A lot of restaurants in the country. I know, here in the Tampa Bay area, for instance, like PDQ.
Yeah.
PDQ fresh tenders and chicken sandwiches. Everything. PDQ, they'll offer a 50% discount, half off for law enforcement, firefighters, EMTs. 50% off. A lot of fast food chains will offer law enforcement discounts. A lot of fast casual
I had
places.
no idea that happened.
Oh, yeah.
So there's got to be a lot of people trying to do that, saying they're officers. I can see Fester do that.
If I can only find a uniform that fit.
Fester.
I'm Officer.
Fester just has a trunk full of cups from fast food
How
restaurants.
funny would that be? An investigative report, fake cop Fester.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
I just go
That's
in,
as bad as stocking face, man.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
All right, let me get back.
I'm sorry.
Let me get back to the vape story here.
Please.
All right, so back to the Morons of the News story. Channel 8 had this report. Guy accused of impersonating this U.S. Air Force special agent. According to the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, this Stephen Scott enters the Higher Up Smoke Shop back on December 10th. He had a gold badge hanging around his neck, and asked employees for help with something called Delta 8. I'm not a vapor. I have never been in a smoke shop, although they're all over the place.
That's sort of like CBD, I think.
There's a place on Kennedy where that contract Verizon store used to be.
Yeah.
And you look in there, it's like shelves of glass pipes, and bongs
those are around.
and all kinds of stuff.
For water use only.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
listen, there are hundreds of these places just in the area.
Oh, the vape
Hundreds.
shops, the
Vapor
smoke
shop,
shops.
I want a tobacco pipe, please. You
a
gotta
tobacco-
call it a tobacco
A
pipe.
tobacco
Now-
water pipe?
Now, Delta 8 apparently, not really familiar with Delta 8. I'm familiar with Delta Airlines.
I think that's just
Delta Bravo.
like a relaxing nerve thing.
What did you say, Roxanne?
Delta Bravo. You're familiar with those?
Yeah, douchebag, Delta Bravo. Or I'm familiar with Delta faucets.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with that song when I was a little kid, Delta Dawn. What's that flower you've got on or whatever? Remember that song?
I
yeah.
like that song. I like
Delta Dawn, what's that flower you have on?
Yeah.
All right, so those are the deltas I'm familiar with. I'm not familiar with Delta 8, but apparently Delta 8 is a legal form of THC.
Oh, okay.
And they commonly sell Delta 8 at smoke shops and the CBD stores and other establishments that are not permitted to sell medical marijuana in Florida. So I guess what is it? It's a substitute for that. I don't know. So according to the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, this guy Scott shows up at the shop, and he apparently showed the workers inside the higher up smoke shop, shows them a card that said that he's an official of the Special Investigations Division of the United States Air Force, and he had handwritten special agent on this card.
Handwritten.
So he has some kind of U.S. Air Force card, and then it has like some kind of handwritten deal, special agent. Andrew, I have no idea what you're saying. What are you saying?
I'm trying to tell you, you're holding a sheet of paper in front of your face on camera.
Oh,
Yeah, people want to see your mug.
All right. I guess I was holding up the story in front of the MJTV camera, which, by the way, folks, watch MJTV. Watch us do the whole broadcast live in studio. You can watch the video every morning live or watch the replay. All the details, MJMorningshow.com. Just click on MJTV at the top of the page. So he shows them this Air Force card, and he wrote special agent on it. Store management, I guess somehow, according to Channel 8, felt compelled to search inventory records because of Scott's words and actions. According to the arrest report, the sheriff's office reached out to the Office of Special Investigations in the U.S. Air Force and learned that Scott was previously employed there, but was never a special agent. Anyway, they arrested him on New Year's Eve, which would be
The 30th.
30th, yes, the 30th. So New Year's Eve. They arrested the guy on December 30th, charged him with falsely impersonating an officer of the law, and last we saw, he was still in the Pinellas County Jail on a $5,000 bond.
One thing I appreciate about him is when you look at that mugshot, he looks like he's still in character. Like he looks like he's investigating the person who's taking his picture.
Yeah, just a bizarre story. So did he think that he was going to just walk out with this free Delta 8 THC product?
Probably.
That's quite the ruse. I mean, take a special agent. It's handwritten on this card.
It helps relax me when I'm on the beat.
Anyway, I want to know more about Froggy's YouTube viewing habits.
Oh my God, I have some great channels.
I know, because you bring up YouTube and the crap that you see on YouTube every single show.
Oh, you never seen Audit the Audit?
Well,
That's a great channel. Sovereign Citizens.
Hold on, Froggy. The point I'm trying to make here is, Froggy.
Yes.
You complain about not having enough time to do show prep because of your shelving business.
This is show prep.
Hold on a minute.
This is where I get my news anyway.
Hank, listen to me.
What?
So how do you have time to clearly look at YouTube videos for hours a day?
When I'm writing and working on orders, I usually have the phone propped up next to me with some cops busting people acting like cops. I like to watch interrogations.
The same way you keep TV on is like just background filler. He keeps on YouTube
I don't
videos
watch-
of people
yeah.
being fake cops.
I'm just asking.
What a judger, dude.
I'm just listen. You complain about not having enough
I never
time.
complain.
You complain all day about not having enough time, and then it turns out you're just watching like cat videos on YouTube all day long.
Oh, cat video. I'm going to start those today.
You ever see those cat and cucumber videos?
Oh, that's so cute.
It's not the best.
So what else did you mention? The sovereign citizen videos?
Oh, yeah. So The Audit is a great channel. There's just so many. Police Tube.
Yeah, if you know any police officers, if anyone listening right now, if you know any cops, next time you see them, ask them about any run-ins they've had with those that claim to be sovereign citizens. And this is a movement where people believe that they don't have to adhere to like local laws, state laws, federal laws, that the laws on the books don't apply to them. That
I saw one yesterday that was an hour long.
Yeah.
And the guy says, "Sorry, officer, I turned in my license. I turned in my plate because I don't agree with that."
Yeah,
And
you'll have people that
they
get
turn
pulled
them
over.
into DMV.
Oh, you have people that get pulled over and they say, "Nope, I don't have a license. I'm a sovereign citizen."
It's so great.
And do they really think they're going to get away with this stuff? It's no.
It's the best.
They go to sovereign citizen jail, right?
Hey, but some of them get violent. There have been some standoffs. There have been officers shot. There have been shootouts with some of these sovereign citizens. A lot of them are just Looney Tunes.
What's an issue is when they start pulling up to cop stops and videoing, you know?
Oh, they do that crap as well. I've seen a ton of that stuff.
I love it.
If you know a cop, ask them about any stories they have about run-ins with sovereign citizens, and they'll fill you in. Anyway, this guy's in trouble. So he rolls in. He wants Delta 8 THC at this higher-up smoke shop in Madeira Beach. And again, what was his? Was he thinking he was going to walk out with it for free? Yes, I'm doing an investigation. Give me all your Delta 8 THC. Or
I'd like your Air Force Special Agent discount, please.
whatever the story is. All right. We have additional morons in the news. We're going to have to go to chunk 2 of the morons in the news. I have a very bizarre story regarding a senior citizen that attacks workers at a construction site. And I don't know what precipitated. I'm trying to figure this out. Again, morons in the news. The bizarreness continues next. And it's out of our favorite senior citizen place, which, of course, Fester is what?
The Villages.
Absolutely. So right out of... A senior citizen of the Villages attacks workers at a construction site. Right,
I
hold
wouldn't
on.
go after construction workers. I mean, usually they're pretty tough and strong.
They've got nail guns, man. All right, hold on. We'll explain it all next. MJ Morning Show Q105 back in a minute. Where's Pat? 5, rolling up on 7 o'clock, 6:59 now on this Tuesday. It is our first show back in 2023. What is this? Today's what? The 3rd of January, right?
Yes.
Today's Jan 3. So, of course, New Year's Day was on Sunday, and then the observation day. Folks were like, well, why weren't you on yesterday? Well, I don't think the mail ran yesterday, right? Post office was closed.
Banks were closed.
Banks closed. Yeah, yesterday was the federal observation of New Year's Day, and our corporate calendar reflected that, so we didn't have to be at work yesterday. It was actually pretty cool since we got back into Tampa late on Sunday night after being in British Columbia, Canada, west coast of Canada, skiing for 2 weeks. So yesterday was a nice kind of just unwind day and try to get reacclimated to Eastern time, which I'm not. Our sleep schedules are off. It'll take probably the bulk of this week to get back onto like Eastern time as far as, body clock, circadian rhythm goes. So I'll keep you abreast of my circadian rhythm during the course of the week, folks.
Please do. It's going to be even tougher because of the full moon.
Yeah.
So good luck.
Well, also, you and your Mercury retrograde.
Yeah,
about,
I was...
we'll get into this. And by the way, remember Thundra, the psychic that used to give us readings and dream interpretation? Thundra weighed in also.
Oh, God.
By the way, it was kind of interesting because you have some kind of the whole team, while we were on vacation, there was some kind of a text thread. And
we kept that to a minimum. We didn't talk much
Yeah,
over
it really wasn't very
But
active.
hold on a
No.
minute. Didn't somebody ask, should I sign my contract because of Mercury retrograde?
I did. I was like, well, what day and time did you sign?
All right, now hold on to that thought. I'll get into that later on. And folks, later this hour, remember we start our long chunk, uninterrupted, hour and 20 minutes nonstop of the MJ Morning Show begins in the next segment at about 7:22, 7:23. Every morning we go for an hour and 20 minutes nonstop, no interruptions. And I'll get into my whole contract situation because I did agree to the extension. I was supposed to sign and get it back to Ron, our new GM, but I didn't get it back to him yet. But listen, I'm on the air. I verbally committed. But I'll also let you know what I've agreed to as far as how much longer I've extended for. And it's not exactly what they wanted, but I did what I wanted. So I'll explain it all coming up in just a bit. Also, if you missed our first hour, the opening of the show and a good portion of the first half hour, we were talking about the NFL disaster last night with the fallen Buffalo Bills player. And there is a lot more information. We'll get into that in the next segment. We'll get back into what happened to the Buffalo Bills safety, to Damar Hamlin, in a very scary situation that forced the cancellation of a very important NFL game. 5.5 minutes into the first quarter, the game was canceled. So the latest on that coming up in just a bit. All right, early morons in the news. I can cram in a couple here. This is chunk 2. First, though, I mentioned I've got a crazy nut job in the Villages, and I don't know what the hell this guy's doing and what this is all about. But I mentioned those donation bins. And you see them in shopping center parking lots, and I don't know if I see as many as I used to see, but like Goodwill,
just dropping
Salvation
clothing.
Army, exactly.
Yeah.
So when's the last time you saw donation bins?
I mean, I'm sure I haven't looked for them either. I mean, they're still around, but I can't tell you where their one is right now.
What is the worst case scenario when it comes to one of those big metal box donation bins that you have seen in parking lots of shopping centers? Worst case scenario?
When they're full, or when someone is in there and jumps out at you, surprises you when you go to put your stuff in.
I have a guess.
All right, hold on. Froggy, hold on a thought. Let me just expand on what Roxanne said. When they're full, that's a worst case scenario.
Yeah, then. Well, I mean, I
Oh my God! What a nightmare! What a horror! The donation bin is full. Oh my God! This is a horror story.
We have a real problem. This thing's overflowing.
Or wait a sec. When somebody jumps out and scares you.
Yeah,
What has that happened? What were you on a prank show?
How
Were
much?
you, were you-
Kind of
what-
two extremes.
What were you, the victim of some kind of crazy nutty guy in
Yeah.
Carrollwood with a YouTube channel? What? Someone jumped out of a donation bin?
It was terrifying.
Bah!
Check it out.
What the best you can do?
I mean,
Well, this is a
these
realistic fear of hers.
what else could go wrong there?
Have you ever put anything in one of those donation boxes?
Yes, I have. And when they are quite full, then you have to really jam it in there.
Yeah,
Yes.
you do.
That's what she said.
These charities
Oh,
are like,
God. Low hanging fruit. Can I get to my
Now,
guess?
now, hang on a minute. I'm sorry I said that because the kids were watching Office episodes on Netflix like all vacation.
Is that where that started?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
I don't know if it started.
Steve Carell.
What is? Hey, Andrew, can you look up quickly?
We need the origins.
Yeah, we need the origin of. Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah, we need the actual. I can't believe that Steve Carell as Michael Scott on The Office. I can't believe that he invented that. Clearly, that character in The Office brought that whole, that's what she said, to the forefront. But, and this also builds on Generation Z, which my kids fall in Generation Z. Chloe and Julian are both Generation Z, and they love The Office. They'll watch the same episodes 9 times. They have clearly watched all seasons of The Office multiple times.
Wow.
And whenever I'd roll into the condo that we rented out in Canada, I'd roll in because I'm usually the last one in skiing. But Michelle and the kids, they're wusses. They come in, earlier than I do. I roll in and they're just sitting there laughing at The Office. And remember, we had a story a couple of months back about how Generation Z, we're talking like teenagers through late teens, early 20s, Generation Z, they're like totally into The Office.
yeah,
It's
a funny
like
show.
it is a funny show. I laugh at it, but it's a thing with the Generation Z and the young millennials are totally into The Office. Anyway, Froggy, what were we going to say about?
Oh, I was going to go with my guess.
Well,
What's
yeah,
the worst case?
what was your guess? Worst case scenario with one of those donation bins.
I would have to guess the obvious answer. Somebody uses the restroom in it.
What is this, Family Feud?
I mean,
Can I get used as a restroom,
Good
Louie?
Good answer. Survey says no.
How is that not?
Yeah.
Either one or two.
That would be a worst case scenario. If somebody backs on up and uses the.
I got a donation for you.
Yeah, here's my donation right here.
Okay, there's a better guess than that.
Here's the deal. It's taking a long time to get here. All right, so a virtually mummified body
oh no.
was found in a donation bin. Now, when I say, again, picture those big metal boxes with the little hinge door, and you put donations in, Salvation Army, Goodwill, or other charitable organizations. They'll have those big metal collection bin boxes. A lot of times you'll see them in shopping center parking lots. And the worst case scenario is a virtually mummified woman's body was found inside one of these clothing donation bins in South Carolina. This particular donation bin apparently had not been emptied in years.
Well, that was kind of similar to my answer. It's the body popped out at you, the human popped out at you, but it was deceased.
No,
I
no.
I don't know if a dead body's going to lunge at you.
This is not some Scooby-Doo episode here. No, but this also raises questions. Did the charity just forget about their donation bin? I mean, how do you have a donation bin where people are shoving clothes in and other donated items, and this bin had not been emptied for years, according to authorities? The unidentified remains were discovered early New Year's Eve in a rusty bin, and this is in Kershaw County, South Carolina, after somebody reported a horrific odor coming from the bin. Wait a minute, you're telling me that years later a mummified body still has a horrific odor?
A lot of things don't add up on this.
No, it doesn't.
You would think it would turn to dust and not smell like anything.
So here's the deal. investigators initially assumed it was someone who'd sought shelter from the recent cold snap, but soon realized that the remains had been there for a very, very long time, according to the coroner in Kershaw County, South Carolina. The body was virtually mummified, said the county coroner, David West. The donation bin had likely not been emptied in many years, and that the bin contained ancient items like VHS tapes.
What?
Oh, wow. That's a good indicator, I
This
guess.
bin has not been emptied since 1999. Where the hell was this donation? You know, it sounds like the charity was out of business. It sounds like the charity is defunct, that they don't even, maybe they never even collected some of their bins, or just still in places where they had left them to collect donations, and now the charity's gone.
Yeah, it went bankrupt or something.
The sheriff in Kershaw County told Fox 57 that it was impossible to ID the woman or detect her exact age because the body was badly decomposed and mostly skeletal.
Ew.
They also said it made it impossible to know exactly how she died.
Okay.
Whoever hid that body couldn't have thought it would have gone this well.
No.
Or she fell in, Froggy. Or she climbed in.
fell in?
Well, hold on.
See, Roxanne goes to this donation bin, drops off all of her old evening gowns, and this lady's like, ooh, I'm going to get one of those, and climbs in and can't get out.
Or Roxanne is trying to punish her kids again with those princess dresses. You're behaving badly, you miserable kids. I'm going to take all of your princess dresses.
I do threaten that. I say
Hold
that
on, you've threatened to take.
Of course I do.
I know that you took your daughter's princess dresses and chucked them into the backyard pool at one point.
Yes. No, I threatened to take their dresses and take their toys to Goodwill, but in their head, they always call it good luck. So my dad would be like, "Don't."
They think Goodwill is called good
please
luck.
Don't take my stuff to Good Luck.
Listen, you find some good deals there. Good luck.
But we don't know exactly what happened. We don't know whether it was foul play and the woman was shoved in the box. But there have been stories where people have died or had to be rescued. People that have sought shelter from cold inside those donation boxes, or people climbing in to try to steal the items from the donation boxes. And I know that over the years, we've had multiple stories involving these big metal bins, typically in shopping center parking lots, where people have either fallen in or they got intentionally fell in while stealing or trying to seek shelter of some sort from weather. But I don't know if we'll ever know the answer here of what the hell happened to this woman. Mummified, and I want to know what charity. They don't even mention what charity it was. And what the hell happened to the charity? How often do charities go out of business?
I can't name one off the top of my head, but I feel like I've seen these bins before. I'm like, what group is that?
But some of these bins are like the size of outhouses.
Obviously, this one had to be pretty big.
Or like those ice fishing huts that those wackos in Minnesota build on the lake. You know, they drag them out. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you drill a hole in the bottom and you catch some fish.
Like grumpy old man.
There you go.
Grumpy old man.
You know, you cut your ice hole.
It's colder than a witch's. No.
Yeah.
You've seen the movie.
And ice holes, right?
Yes.
You ice hole. So there you go.
Wow, that's definitely the worst case scenario.
Just be careful with those donation bins. And then the other story about the guy at the Villages, I don't get this. This is just a quick little story here. A 62-year-old guy from the Villages, the big retirement community that stretches over, I think, 19 various counties here in Florida. I mean, how nuts is this? A villager by the name of Michael Patrick Gilbrook, 62, rolls up on a construction site and apparently beat a construction worker, struck the guy in the face, and then stole the guy's drywall tools.
Wow.
What
Tough old man.
62-year-old dude
It's not that old.
goes to a construction site. It would have been funny if he was 82.
Yeah.
Yeah, rolled up in his golf cart.
Beat the hell out of him.
But this is an area in the Villages where they're building thousands of additional new homes.
More?
So this dude goes to a construction site and strikes a construction worker in the face and then steals his drywall tools. And apparently there might be some complication over a woman. So,
those construction workers aren't to be trusted.
So the 62-year-old villager was involved potentially with the same woman that the drywall guy was involved with?
What? I hear you want to hang Lurlene's drywall. I ain't gonna let it happen.
The construction worker told police that the woman had given him the drywall tools and described her as Gilbrook's ex-girlfriend.
These are my tools.
The hell?
If my ex comes here looking for these tools, I didn't give them to you.
Anyway,
is tools a euphemism for something?
I don't know.
No,
I
story.
mean, drywall tools wouldn't be as.
according to police up in the Villages, according to cops, the guy Gilbrook, the 62-year-old villager, has a criminal record in New Jersey and here in Florida.
Wow.
What is this? What does this guy do?
Was he a hitman or something?
Was he part of the Tony Soprano's gang? What's going on here?
Very unsuccessful in New Jersey. I had to move to the Villages.
Anyway, just who would think that you'd have a guy hit in the face and have his drywall tools stolen and something to do with a woman? All right, when we get back, the latest on my contract situation. I am here. I have not signed. I have a verbal agreement, but we are back. I'll explain everything coming up. And also the huge story of the day, the big, massive story is the unprecedented halt to the NFL game last night when the Buffalo Bills safety, Damar Hamlin, collapsed on the field. So we have all the latest on that. Next, our long chunk of and a Christmas gift did not go very well. I got to roll this by you because, I mean, what do they say? No good deed goes unpunished. Yeah. All right, hold on. We'll get to all that next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Don't move. Hey. MJ Morning Show, Q105, 724. And right now, right here, this begins the long, uninterrupted chunk of the MJ Morning Show. Hey, Fester, what were you saying about schools? I don't have school-age kids anymore. Julian is at the boarding school finishing up senior year of high school out of state. Chloe's obviously in college. So what's the story? Your kids are Hillsborough County schools.
Yeah, we're Hillsborough County. And this Christmas kind of sucked in some ways because kids went to school until Friday the 23rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very wonky.
What?
Hillsborough County schools were up to Friday the 23rd, so they were off all last week. So I had last week with the kids, and then they're off this week as well. And most kids don't go back until next Monday.
Yeah, so now we have to have childcare for our kids this week since everybody's back to work. And we didn't get to have that ramp up fun week Christmas, before Christmas to do fun kid holiday
Hold on,
activities.
that sucks. Who came up with that school? Was that the same for Pinellas County and the other counties as well?
I believe so.
I don't know. My kids are home this week.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So the kids don't go back to school until next Monday?
Nope.
I'm a Hillsborough County resident, so I'm not speaking for the entire Bay Area, but I think it's pretty accurate. Everybody.
I know a lot of the schools tend to operate on a similar schedule as far as school start and school ending, but I know that spring breaks can change. Oh, guys, you guys might be a little ticked off with me about spring break this year.
What, you're not taking one?
No, I am, but it's going to be very early.
Okay.
What's early? February? That's early.
No. I am taking March.
Doesn't work for me, buddy.
Well, I'm just letting you know that I am, because we're going to go to Scotland to see Chloe's last soccer game.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
So we're going to fly over to Scotland, and we're going to leave on March 2nd. So I think March 2nd is a Thursday. So we're going to do the morning show on Thursday, but Fester, then you got to take me right to the airport.
Oh, great.
So I'm going to meet Michelle at the airport. So March 2nd, Michelle and I are going to fly over to Scotland. That's going to be our spring break because Julian's on spring break with his school and they're going on a school trip. So we're going to fly over to Scotland and hang with Chloe because she's at St. Andrews this year and it's one of her last soccer games. So we're going to go see her soccer game and hang out for a little bit. So we're going to be gone March 2nd. And then the 3rd, I think, is Friday. And then we're going to be gone the whole next week. And then as soon as I get back is when Hillsborough County spring break begins.
Yeah.
Well, that's thoughtless.
So what we'll do is...
I can't control the fact that it's Chloe's last soccer game.
We can't
control the fact that it's our spring break that week.
So listen, I'm sure each of us will work one day that week, and you could float the show at Andrew for one day.
So we got to. I don't know if everyone's planning on going somewhere, but I'm going to be.
I'm going to Scotland too.
Potentially, I'm on my own. It's the MJ Morning Show with just me, MJ.
I'm going to hang out with Scott.
No Roxanne, no Fester, no Froggy.
I mean, yeah.
So I'll put out an email because Froggy, I know that your wife gets all ticked off at me and all
because your vacations. I mean, really thoughtless.
I actually do appreciate that you're letting us know this on January 3rd. That is progress.
Hey, Andrew, I heard your mic was on in the producer booth because the phone was ringing a little while ago.
Just want to let you know, Pasco County did have the week leading up to Christmas off, so they're back in school today.
They did it right in Pasco County.
Yeah, so I wasn't speaking for every county, but I know Hillsborough County sucks with their schedule. Pinellas County, I'm on their website for their calendar. They suck too.
So same deal. They followed Hillsborough?
Yeah. School calendar for 2022-23. Last day was Friday the 23rd.
More on school schedules later on the MJ Morning Show.
The week before Christmas is a lot of family time or travel time. Kids are off Christmas Eve, Christmas Day.
Yeah, but that just sucks.
Yeah.
School till the 23rd?
Yeah, I've never. I don't think I can ever recall it going that late.
Monday Night Football last night. If you were listening to us first thing this morning, when we came on the air at 6 o'clock, we spent the whole first segment talking about the NFL medical catastrophe last night with the Buffalo Bills safety, Damar Hamlin. And medical experts are saying that the next 12 to 24 hours are going to be critical. Everyone is talking about this. This is a massive story. This is unprecedented. It was just 5 minutes, 38 seconds into the first quarter last night. This game between the Bengals in Cincinnati and the visiting Buffalo Bills, this game was going to determine the lead for the AFC as far as top seed. And the game was canceled. I mean, when is the last time an NFL game has been canceled after 5 minutes of play or any? I can't ever think of this ever happening, ever.
Canceled, but essentially postponed.
Yeah, well, the game was canceled last night. Suspended, postponed. The game was canceled last night. Everybody go home. We're not playing any more football tonight after 5 minutes and 38 seconds. And this is after the Bills safety, Damar Hamlin, suffered a cardiac arrest. And we're getting, a little more information here as to what actually happened. Damar Hamlin's recovery, according to medical experts, could hinge on how long he was in cardiac arrest after the collapse, after what would be a typical tackle. But when you look at the replay, when you see what happened, he got nailed hard in the chest. And medical experts are saying, and my uncle's a cardiologist, I had some conversation late last night via text, and at a certain point during a heartbeat, if you take a heavy blow, if it happens at the exact millisecond and you take a hard hit to the chest, you can go into cardiac arrest. And do we know the full medical diagnosis of exactly what happened? We don't. At this point, there's a lot of speculation, and I've gotten a ton of email. I've received email from doctors. I've received, regular listeners claiming, hey, take a look at this. I saw this online. Let me give you an example. This is from a buddy of mine that sent me this, and this is a post apparently from a physician. A strong, abrupt hit to the chest can cause a cardiac contusion and even cardiac standstill. Knowing that he attempted to stand and walk after the hit, I would say it is more a cardiac contusion that resulted in a near-fatal cardiac arrhythmia. There are a number of cardiac arrhythmias that can cause the lack of perfusion that would result in a non-palpable pulse, as well as a traumatic cardiac tamponade and accumulation of blood or fluid in the pericardial sac that restricts the pumping action of the heart. With that being said, sedating him, intubating him, and placing him on a ventilator is most likely precautionary until they can further investigate his cardiovascular respiratory status and the severity of any thoracic cardiac injury. Intubation is often used as a precautionary treatment. Anyway, we don't know the official diagnosis, but wasn't there word last night that they were going to put him into a medically induced coma to try to take his body out of a stressful situation? What are you seeing, Rox?
At 2 a.m., the Buffalo Bills tweeted that he suffered the cardiac arrest. His heartbeat was restored on the field, and he's currently sedated and in critical condition.
Right. So if you're just tuning in, if you didn't see Monday Night Football last night, it was Bills and Bengals in Cincinnati, and 5 minutes, 38 seconds into the game, you had this safety for the Bills. Damar Hamlin was involved in what would be kind of a routine tackle, and it looked like the shoulder and helmet of the number 85 Bengals player went right into the chest of Damar. And he stands up and then collapses, just falls backward like a rock, takes the hit, goes down, gets right up, and then is unsteady on his feet and then just collapses. And that was it. There was no more play in an NFL game last night after this. And the game was postponed for a long time. So I have the timeline here. The injury happened at 8:55 last night. So 8:55 Eastern time is when the injury happened. They administered CPR on the field. I've seen reports that it was 9 minutes of CPR on the field.
That's a lot of. That sounds like a lot of CPR. I don't know.
No, CPR can go on for half an hour to 45 minutes.
Really?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, you don't know that?
9 minutes just sounds like a long time.
9 minutes
No.
is a long time when you're in crisis.
Yeah,
I would feel like
absolutely. But it is not uncommon for doctors and nurses to try to save a patient with CPR. Doing chest compressions for 20, 30, 40 minutes. I think Michelle read something last night that there are situations where CPR is recommended for like 45 minutes before they'll actually either revive a patient or call it that they've lost the patient. So 8:55 is when the injury happened. Left in the ambulance at 9:25. They backed an ambulance onto the field. And then the game was suspended by the NFL at 10:01 is when the official NFL decision came. So this was an hour of downtime. This is, network television. This is ESPN, ABC network. And you had an hour that they were filling, over an hour. And you saw all the subdued, shock on the play-by-play. You had Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. They were calling the game. Then you had the team like Susie Colbert and Booger McFarland, back at the ESPN studios. And it was tense. And Michelle and I are watching this, and you could see players on the field were crying.
Yeah.
We didn't know what was going on. You know how many people thought that maybe he had died?
Well, yeah, figure these players on the field. They're huddled around their teammate, and they're hearing what the medical personnel is saying. And if they overheard one of them say, "Hey, we have no heartbeat," how quickly does that spread amongst the players? Instantly, they assume the absolute worst. When somebody says there's no heartbeat, that's not a good sign. So the players were emotionally distraught at that time, obviously.
A lot of the Bills left on the team plane last night.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of the teams use Delta. So a lot of the players, a lot of the team, they did leave Cincinnati last night to go back to Buffalo. However, there are some players that did stay in Cincinnati to be at the hospital. Let's see. NFL.
Stephon Diggs, Bills receiver.
Yeah, so I have that. That's one of the names that I have.
So he took an Uber to the hospital, and he got there, and a police officer on site didn't want to let him in, but then there was an ESPN reporter who was there, was like, no, this is one of his teammates. Let him in.
Unitard, who used to be on the MJ Morning Show, one of our great interns at the time, we called him Unitard, if you remember the name. He texted me early this morning that Bill's top wide receiver, Stephon Diggs, he did stay in Cincinnati to be near Hamlin at the hospital.
Yes.
And then you said that they didn't want to let him in?
The cops didn't want to let him in because they didn't know who he was. But then
what happened?
Another reporter there who's like, no, he's his teammate.
If folks that are listening want to weigh in on this, if anyone listening has any comments, if you were watching this last night, if you're a medical professional, are you a doctor? Are you a cardiac nurse? Are you a cardiologist? If you have any experience in the medical field and you want to give us some insight, give us a buzz. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047 is how you get in. 800-990-1047. I'm giving out the number a lot because maybe we've got some doctors listening that typically wouldn't be calling in. But, we'd love to hear from you. If you saw this live, if you have any insight, if you are in the medical field and you want to weigh in, listen, any thoughts and prayers, any observations, 800-990-1047 is how you get into the program here, the MJ Morning Show. 800-990-1047.
So prior to this, Damar Hamlin had set up a GoFundMe page. It's called Chasing M's Foundation. It's a community toy drive for kids. And it has raised since last night.
All right, now hold on a minute.
This number's crazy.
Right, this is crazy. So before, do you have the number of what it was before he collapsed on the field?
It's
I don't
not
know
significant compared to what it is now.
The total goal
was $2,500.
Okay, so it's a fairly small GoFundMe goal.
All right, now, this Buffalo Bills player, Damar Hamlin, had like a toy charity drive, and he was trying to raise money online, and this was for, obviously, this past Christmas. And let me tell you what's absolutely insane, and this is what Roxanne is leading to, is that when word got out that he had a toy charity to try to give toys to underprivileged kids in the Buffalo area, as soon as word got out that he had this charity after the injury, it exploded. So, Roxanne, do you have the latest number?
Yes.
Do you have it on your computer?
Mm-hmm.
The goal was $2,500. And Roxanne, would you like to reveal what the current number is in this charity, where the goal was only $2,500?
$3,281,000.
Oh my gosh.
That's where they are.
Guess what? Now
3 million.
It's higher. Fester just
Refresh that,
refreshed.
Yeah, refresh. It's
Fester just refreshed.
like $15 higher.
No, it's a little higher than that. Now it's $3,298,630.
Wow.
And it's just going to go higher. If you're listening to us later in the day on the podcast, it's going to be higher later on. So if I read his little description on his GoFundMe for his toy fundraiser, he wrote, "As I embark on my journey to the NFL, I will never forget where I came from, and I am committed to using my platform to positively impact the community that raised me. I created the Chasing M's Foundation as a vehicle that will allow me to deliver that impact, and the first program is the 2020 Community Toy Drive." So this goes back to, 2020. The campaign gives you the opportunity to contribute to our first initiative and positively impact children who have been hardest hit by the pandemic. 100% of the funds raised will go toward the purchase of toys for kids in need. So the initial goal was $2,500. I don't know where it was before he collapsed on the field last night, but right now it is almost $3.3 million with 128,200 donations at this point.
So this looks like an old post, an old GoFundMe page. And
Yeah.
the picture that he has of himself is him in his
In college days.
uniform.
Yeah.
You know, it's a fairly small amount of money that he's trying to raise here. So people just searched him out on GoFundMe,
Right.
saw something that he did, and got behind this initiative.
And now his fundraiser has $3.3 million. That is unbelievable.
You think he could come back? There was a soccer player that had a cardiac arrest maybe a year and a half ago. He just dropped in the field. He had a heart attack, and he came back and he's playing again.
Listen, there's a possibility he comes back. I mean, it's too early. He could have been oxygen deprived. I mean, is his brain okay? Mm-hmm. Let's hope that. Listen, even if he recovers from the heart condition, hopefully he didn't suffer any brain damage from loss of oxygen. Hang on, let's go to phones again. Would love to hear from any medical professionals or anyone that was watching this last night. But this mood, as far as professional sports go, the mood of the sideline reporters and Troy Aikman and Joe Buck and then Booger McFarland and Susie Colbert at ESPN. I mean, it was just so subdued. It was almost surreal. So if you want to phone in on this, any thoughts before we move on, 800-990-1047, 1047. Dina is in Lakeland. Hey, Dina, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning. How are you?
We're well. Go ahead.
I watched this last night, and it, like you just said, you took the words right out of my mouth. It was surreal. It was just like to see an ambulance come on that field, which I've never seen that in an NFL game, but to wonder the anguish on the players' faces, just the fear, because it could be one of them, but most of all, his mom. To be his mom and in those stands and not able to get to him right away.
You know, Dina, this is another reason why I love taking phone calls, is because you just brought up another element, and I actually had this in my notes, but I forgot to mention it, that what Dina just said, he had family members in the crowd, and his mother came down to the field, and the word, Dina, is that his mother rode in the ambulance with him to the hospital.
Yeah. I mean, and thank God that they were able to get her to him like that. I mean, it's just, but just to be in those stands and watch it unfold, see it happen, and you're just like, it's like an outer body experience for a mom, for anything with your child being hurt in any situation. But that had to be the worst feeling for her. And, to see all the fans for the Bills and the Bengals show up at the hospital, it just goes to show. I mean, there's power in prayer. So
the players crying, mother there. Listen, you bring the motherly aspect, and I can't even imagine. 24-year-old kid.
He's a kid.
24 years old, and your mom has to witness that. And listen, let's just hope and pray that he'll recover from this. Hopefully, that his heart was not damaged. Hopefully, there's no brain damage from lack of oxygen. He was apparently defibrillated, shocked twice on the field, 9 minutes of CPR allegedly. And then reports are they put him in a medically induced coma at the hospital, and hopefully we'll have an update later on.
The television, we were watching it on ABC, and they had the one player, Ryan Clark, and he was just like, who cares about the game?
Yeah.
It is not about this. It is about him.
Well, you had the analysts, you had analysts that were saying, what's taking the NFL so long to cancel the game?
And that upset me, because I kept saying to my husband, what is there to think about? Shut this game down.
All right, there's a lot of things to think about. Instead of just running something. The teams went off the field. And it's one thing to have something inside the locker room and then to announce it to the public. They're not there to serve us.
But there was not official word. They did not officially announce the game was called. You saw like the Buffalo Bills team, like equipment folks, they were packing stuff up before they actually officially canceled the game.
Yeah, so they know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yes, they knew.
We're not going to play. No matter what they did or said, these players were not going to play. Yeah. There was no way. The Bills team was just in too much pain and worrying about what mattered the most, which was DeMar. So
Dina,
they should have just shut that game down right away.
Dina, thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, guys.
Thank you for the motherly aspect, the motherly touch there. And we just haven't seen anything like this. And this was a game to determine top seed in the AFC. So when's this game going to be replayed? This puts, both teams are scheduled to play, this Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, one is going to play on Saturday, and I think the other one is not scheduled yet.
Yeah, the last week the NFL plays with the schedule. They're probably going to move both games back to Sunday now, and then they'll play hopefully sometime this week. If everybody can get together, Wednesday, tomorrow.
I'm tired.
The official statement from the NFL last night: tonight's Buffalo Bills Cincinnati Bengals game has been postponed after Buffalo Bills Damar Hamlin collapsed. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell announced Hamlin received immediate medical attention on the field by team and independent medical staff and local paramedics. He was then transported to a local hospital where he's in critical condition. Our thoughts are with DeMar and the Buffalo Bills. We'll provide more information as it becomes available. So that was the official statement from the NFL. And he was taken to UCMC. It's the only, I guess, level 1 trauma center in Cincinnati.
It was apparently 2 miles from the stadium.
Yeah, it's very close. Yeah. And hopefully he got, treatment that will hopefully save his life. I mean, he is in critical condition, but hopefully there's no extensive heart damage. And, you got to wonder about his brain. Hopefully there was no brain damage that he suffered either. Anyway, thoughts, prayers with Damar Hamlin. And this rocked the entire country last night. As we've never seen this play out. There have been some gruesome injuries.
It's one thing to watch a guy get his leg broken.
Yeah.
You go, oh, he's screaming in pain.
Or a neck injury.
They cart him off.
Yeah, we've seen the neck injuries. They put the braces on. They cart him off. But, I mean, this is really somewhat unprecedented. We just haven't seen anything like this. And to have a Monday Night Football game canceled 5 minutes and 38 seconds into the first quarter, that's just unbelievable.
So according to Fox Business, at the beginning of the night, the charity was at $100,000.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I didn't know where it had started.
Right.
For his toy drive.
So now it's at $3.3 million. So it went up almost $400,000 in the 10 minutes that we've been talking.
I don't understand how it has to be an underlying condition, because think of all the boxers, the UFC guys kicking each other right in the chest.
It's just a trauma. It could happen to anybody if they hit you at the right spot at the right time.
Yeah, and what I had heard, again, I had some texts last night. My uncle's a cardiologist, that if you take a hit to the chest, if you get a jarring hit to the chest, and there's a certain point in a heartbeat where if you get hit, there's some blunt force trauma, and it's at just the precise moment in a heartbeat, just the correct microsecond, it can do something like this, and that clearly is what happened in what looked like a routine hit.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a routine hit, so I would imagine it's going to scare a lot of football players. Like, oh, I hope I don't tackle this person right at the time that my heart's in the vulnerable beat mode.
The other story involving a celebrity is Jeremy Renner, the actor.
Yeah.
He's become a big Marvel actor. I'm not into all the Marvel movies. I don't want to dwell on this.
They're pretty cool.
Julian, my son, he likes them. But I'm not into all the DC comics and the Marvel movies.
Is he the bow and arrow guy?
Well,
Hawkeye.
I don't even know. What is
Hawkeye?
Yeah.
He shoots arrows?
He squawks like that?
I mean, what does a hawk
he doesn't
do?
squawk.
Well, hold on. What is the noise you just made?
Oh, it was a hawk. I mean, is that how a hawk sounds? I don't even know.
Does that have anything to do with his character in the Marvel comic movies?
I'm trying to make a joke. I mean, if you have a superhero named after a hawk, I mean, wouldn't you want him to jumping out of boxes?
What if his name was Fart Eye? What would he sound like?
Fart Eye? If his name was Fart Eye?
Instead of Hawkeye. I just want to know what that would sound like.
Stop in the name of Fart.
All right, listen, so I'm not into the whole DC and Marvel movies. I mean, they're just loud. They're all of the computer graphics. I just like great cinematic filmmaking.
Well, he was in The Hurt Locker.
Well, yes.
He's been in The Town. A lot of great movies.
Yeah. So The Hurt Locker was fantastic. That's where he really came to fame. That really put him on the board, if I'm not mistaken. But actor Jeremy Renner has it looks like a ski resort quality snowplow, like one of those snow cats.
Where does he live? In the North Pole?
No, in Lake Tahoe.
In Lake Tahoe, Nevada.
It looks awful.
So they got nailed. They had a ton of snow. They had like 2 feet of snow, and apparently he's got a property out there, and he has like a commercial grade ski resort like snowcat plow, and somehow it ran him over. It's like, what the hell? I mean,
I swear this happened on an episode of Tool Time.
What?
Or Home Improvement.
What happened?
On Home Improvement with Tim Allen, he got run over by a snowplow up in Michigan.
Hold on, was this a storyline?
I think it was a lawnmower, actually.
What?
That's completely different.
A lawnmower or a snowplow?
I mean, it was just he went Tim the Toolman Taylor,
Here's the latest on Jeremy Renner. This is from TMZ. He was seriously injured. Jeremy Renner, during a snow plowing accident. The two-time Oscar-nominated actor was in critical but stable condition with injuries suffered after experiencing a weather-related accident while plowing snow.
Man.
Yeah, he even prior to this, you see images of him on his social media where he's doing this.
I
He
don't
likes to do it.
understand. How did this happen? Did he fall out of it and then it ran over him?
Yeah, it wasn't in the right. They don't know what happened, but the snowplow kept going when it should have just automatically shut off.
Renner has a house in the Mount Rose Ski Tahoe Resort, which is near Reno. They got hit with like a couple of feet of snow New Year's Eve.
It snows in Nevada?
Yes.
Dude, it's
Okay,
the
so
Sierra Nevada.
Las Vegas?
So Vegas is a desert, but it goes up pretty high. There's big mountains up there.
Yeah, they're
You're lying.
dude.
In the middle of the desert, you're telling me it snows.
Lake Tahoe, Lake Tahoe is a ski resort, dude. You've got mountains.
Nevada's a really big state.
No, say Nevada,
Actually,
not Nevada.
No, I'm a Nevada guy.
No, it's Nevada. So Renner was nominated for an Academy Award in 2010 for The Hurt Locker. Then he got another Oscar nomination for The Town, which I think you mentioned, Roxanne, right?
That's a good one.
Yes, that was good. I like that.
He's been in The Avengers, Captain America Civil War, but his injury was described as traumatic.
Oh.
And the early reports were that the snowplow ran over his leg, but then there was a secondary report that he had a chest injury as well, and that he required multiple surgeries.
Blunt chest trauma.
Oh, my gosh. I was going to say, if it was just his leg, he could play a pirate for the rest of his career.
All right, Froggy, come on.
Or they could CGI like little hawk legs.
Yeah.
You gonna make your hawk? You gonna make your hawk noise again?
He doesn't have little hawk legs.
Anyway, here's an updated story. He'll need multiple surgeries, extensive injuries. He's expected to have continued surgeries after initial surgeries yesterday. Actor Jeremy Renner will undergo multiple surgeries, extensive injuries. I'm just trying to see if there's anything new here.
He's a really good guy, like as far as giving back, because he volunteers with his firefighter department. He
What do you
knows
mean?
what he's
What do you
doing.
mean his firefighter department?
His local firefighter department.
Is he a volunteer firefighter?
Yes,
Wow.
in Lake Tahoe.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah.
He's 51 years old. And also they say he lost a very significant amount of blood. Yeah, how did it run him over? That's the question. Did he fall out of it?
So
Was he standing near the tread? It looks like it's one of these snow plows that it's on like those tractor treads, like a bulldozer.
Oh, it looks horrible if it runs over you.
Oh,
It
yeah.
looks like a tank.
It is.
one story I was reading said if you go to the website of that particular manufacturer, that type is not available anymore. So I don't know if this was taken down after his accident, not available after his accident, or if it's like a vintage model that he has.
A neighbor rushed to the scene, I guess either saw it or heard him screaming. Just before 10 a.m. Sunday morning, Reno time, a neighbor applied a tourniquet to his crushed leg to stop the bleeding. His rep says he's getting excellent care at a local hospital. But they were hit with a massive New Year's Eve storm where they got up to 2 feet of snow. But our best wishes, and listen, I thought he was great in the Hurt Locker.
So what's a bigger story, this or the football one?
Oh, the football player's a bigger story.
Listen, they're both big stories.
The football one is
I
like
think the football
enormous.
stories.
Is it because everybody was watching it?
Life. I mean, we saw it happen in real time.
Imagine if there was a video of the Jeremy Renner thing. Ooh.
Well, listen, best wishes. Hopefully we'll get more information on both Damar Hamlin, the Buffalo Bills player, and hopefully we'll have more information later on Jeremy Renner, the actor, and his snowplow accident. 7:58 at the MJ Morning Show. Want to talk about some of the travel nightmares over the holidays. I want to grab some phone calls on that in just a minute. First of all, I'm not going to take a long time here. Let me take a minute on my contract situation. So I did announce. Hey Fester, can you bring up my Instagram? There are a couple of videos that. Have you seen both the videos that we shot?
I saw the car video.
All right, hold on. We'll get to that here in a second. So I'm only going to take 30 seconds or a minute here. The contract situation is as follows. I was presented with a new contract. My contract expired on December 31st at midnight, technically 11:59 and 59 seconds. On New Year's Eve, December 31st, my contract was up, and I was handed a new multi-year deal a couple of months back. But in the meantime, we had a general manager change. We lost our old general manager. We got a new general manager. So that intervened and interfered, I should say, with the whole process. So here's what's happened. I have agreed to an extension, and they wanted me to sign a multi-year extension. I've only agreed to a 1-year extension. And then we'll renegotiate, I would imagine, probably in the fall of this year. So later this fall, I'll renegotiate. But the MJ Morning Show, as far as I know, we're back for 2023. So we will be here every morning for 2023. And I have signed a 1-year extension. Again, that was my choice. They wanted me to sign for longer. I agreed to a 1-year extension. But the good news is the MJ Morning Show is back. I had a couple of videos, folks, that I want you to see. Yes.
Wait, we need to talk about Mercury retrograde as it pertains to your contract.
Okay, all right. Hold on to that thought. Yeah, that's true. Let me give out the Trip a Day song though first. Ooh. So it is 2023. This is January 3rd, our first show back, and guess what? The Q105 Trip a Day song contest is back. So how'd you like to win a 3-day staycation at the Wyndham Bonnet Creek Resort in Orlando? It's easy. Later today, we're going to play Footloose by Kenny Loggins. And it'll happen later today. And, hey, am I allowed to give out the hour? I forgot.
I think, okay, I think you give out the hour. You give out the hour.
You're listening for Footloose by Kenny Loggins. Footloose by Kenny Loggins. It'll play sometime in the 3 o'clock hour. When you hear it, just be the 7th caller and you'll win the Q105 Trip a Day. All right, before we move on to these videos, Roxanne, you want to talk about my contract and Mercury retrograde. Now, when I had made the announcement on social media that I had agreed to extend my contract for a year to begin with, there was a commentary that you guys had going. So we have a group text with Andrew, our producer, and Roxanne and me and Fester and Froggy. And you brought up Mercury retrograde?
Yes, because the day that you texted all of us and said, all right, guys, I'm agreeing to this contract, I hit you back because that was December 29th. And I was like, wait, what time did you sign this contract today? Because December 29th is the day that Mercury went retrograde. And it's not going to resume its direct course until January 18th. So the things that you do, like signing contracts, that's a big no-no during Mercury retrograde.
Whoa. Hang on. Wait a minute. Hold on. This is breaking news. So now I have not literally put pen to paper yet.
Okay.
With Ron DeCastro, our new general manager, who I've dubbed him Ron DeCastrate, Ron has not received my signature. I literally was speaking to Ron to finalize at the top of Blackcomb Mountain at Whistler Blackcomb in Canada. I think I was up at the top in like 7th heaven.
I used to love that show.
I think it was the top of the 7th heaven lift.
You're like, I can't hear you, Ron.
On
top of a mountain in Canada.
I was just ironing out a couple of things with Ron, and I verbally agreed, yes, I will sign, but I haven't formally signed yet. And you're telling me that I should not sign because I should wait for Mercury. Well, first of all, can you explain what the hell does Mercury retrograde? Roxanne's into all this.
What is that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even
what's the definition of Mercury retrograde?
It is when Mercury, the planet Mercury, moves in a sense backwards. It's not direct rotation. And so the things that you need to...
What the hell does this have to do with me signing a contract?
Because you're muddled thinking during this time period. You're not supposed to do anything new. That's the most important thing. So I'm going to give you a pass. The fact that you are re-upping and you're re-extending or whatever. You're not. This isn't an actual new contract.
I mean,
I'm gonna say
technically,
you
it's
can
not
go
a
ahead.
new contract where there's
Yes.
shrewd negotiations back and forth. It's just it's essentially a extension of an existing document.
Hold on a minute. I just got a text from Thundra.
Fester, Thundra, your favorite.
Fester loves Thundra, who's done like dream interpretations on the show from time to time. Thundra, with an updated text, Thundra says Mercury is aspecting your third house of media and communications, so it's probably a good point to wait to sign your contract.
So you have to wait like 2 weeks.
Yeah, Mercury involves how we perceive, interpret, and communicate information.
Yeah, there are a lot of miscommunications.
Hold on. Should we try to give Ron DeCastro, our new general manager, his first appearance on the show? Should we call him up and tell him that Roxanne says don't sign the contract?
You know what? Hold on. Roxanne's not saying that. She's just saying let's just wait till like Jan 20.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me dial him up.
Okay. And
Oh boy.
the thing is this is a time period to research, redo, redesign. Anything that has an RE in front of it, that's a good thing to do. So if you're
Regurgitate?
re-upping, yeah.
Regurgitate,
Perfect.
Froggy. Now's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and calling Ron, our general manager. I think this might be his first appearance on the MJ Morning Show, if he actually picks up.
He's not answering.
What do you mean he's not answering?
He's got big meetings.
He's a busy man.
Very busy.
Good morning, Ron. It's the MJ Morning Show calling live. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Ron, are you on speakerphone? Are you in the bathroom?
I was walking through the house, yes.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, our new market manager and vice president, Ron DeCastro. He's asked me not to call him Ron DeCastro.
Oh,
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
was that part of the negotiations? All right, MJ, we're going to put a paper in front of you, but you can't call me DeCastro.
All right, so, Ron, you and I was on the top of the ski mountain. I was on the top of Blackcomb Mountain at Whistler Mountain, Whistler Blackcomb, I should say, just before New Year's. And we verbally agreed that I'm going to sign the contract extension for a year. You guys wanted me to sign a multi-year, and I said, hey, can we just do a year for now? And we agreed. But Ron, we got a little bit of a wrinkle we got to talk about.
What? Okay, what's the wrinkle?
Roxanne, do you want to break the news? So Roxanne says I should not sign yet.
Well, Ron, I don't know if you're into astrology at all, but it's Mercury retrograde, and so you're not really supposed to sign contracts during this time period. It's almost over, and actually this would be a protective mechanism for both you and Beasley and MJ, because we don't know who's going to get the bad end of the deal if this is done during retrograde. So maybe you want to wait until the 18th. But I told him the fact that he is re-signing and not
That's
a brand new
what I was going to
contract.
go with Roxanne.
So
And I am into horoscopes. And if you look up the yearly horoscope for Aries, which I am, it said this is going to be a phenomenal year. So he just re-signing.
He's re-signing. That's what I said.
All right,
I said it
but
could
wait a
work
minute.
because he's re-signing.
But Roxanne,
Yes.
you're saying Mercury retrograde began when? December
29th.
All right, so it began December 29th, and it doesn't end until January 18th.
Yes.
All right, so Ron, what Roxanne is saying is I should not sign formally until the 19th of January.
Well, you're not signing a contract. You're extending the current one.
She's
So
kind of talking
that's
out of
the
both
way-
sides
that's
of
the
her
way
mouth.
Aries looks at it.
I said that would work. Yeah.
MJ, Roxanne's telling you one thing and then saying, but it's going to be okay.
Well, hold on.
There's only an extension.
Wait, if you
right?
sign, you
Yes.
sign. Why does Mercury retrograde give a flying frig whether it's a new contract or an extension?
That's what I'm saying. At this point, you're still going to sign the same piece of paper on January 18th, so might as well sign it
Again,
now.
Fester's right. You're talking out of your butt.
Yes.
So hold on a minute. Am I signing or not signing?
No, actually, you're going back to Thundra. She's the one who told you something about your houses. I said it's okay because it's a re. It's a re.
Wait, I thought you said don't sign. All right, Fester, what did you hear?
Ron, he'll be in your office later today to sign the deal and put this to
We'll
bed.
help him get this
Ron,
done.
we're sorry to bother you so early in the morning, sir.
Hey, Ron, you know what? As soon as I saw that as soon as I heard that MJ was at the Christmas party, I had no doubt that this was going to get done. So there you go.
There we go. And I'm just glad that when you ski down the mountain, you didn't run into a tree this time. So
Right, I did not run into it. That happened 2 years ago. I slammed into a tree in Vail. So, all right, Ron, we'll sort things out. But Roxanne, are you getting cold feet?
I'm not getting.
It's like now that I have the general manager on the phone, it's almost like you got cold feet and you're scared.
Go back and read the text chain.
I said it the same way earlier.
Are you sure?
Yeah, she's
Okay,
consistent with.
All right.
Don't negotiate a new deal, but you're signing an extension of an existing deal, so it's fine.
Oh, I thought I'm not supposed to sign anything during Mercury retrograde.
You're just re-signing.
Okay, so
I still don't know what Mercury retrograde
Either do
is.
I.
What's Uranus doing right now, Roxanne?
All I know is that.
What do you like to know?
All I know is you got to limit your tuna intake because there's mercury in tuna. All right? All right.
There you go.
All right. Ron, thank you, buddy. Your first appearance on the MJ Morning Show, by the way.
I feel honored. I hope I lived up to the high expectations you have of me.
All right. Well, listen, we'll give you.
This is all right.
Great job.
We'll let you off easy this time, but in the future, it might be a little more difficult.
And now we know Ron is an Aries, so this is very good research
Look at that.
information. Yeah.
All right, Ron. I'll see you later, buddy.
Okay, talk to you later.
All right, Ron.
Bye.
See you, sir.
All right, so our new market. So that's the situation. All right, couple of videos. Fester, what do you think of the recreation of the Everywhere Chevy video?
All right, I'd be lying to you if I told you I didn't watch it like 20 times.
People love this stuff.
Okay.
Folks, if you have not seen this, I don't even know how the idea came up.
Creative people have ideas like your son.
Talented people like
You can't
Julian.
relate.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me call Michelle quickly. Hang on. Michelle, she's having a tough time getting back to Eastern time.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
So her body feels like it's 5:10 in the morning right now because she's on West Coast time?
All right, you know the Chevy EV commercial where they're using Fleetwood Macs everywhere?
Hello.
Hey, Michelle, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Are you awake?
I am.
Oh, excellent. So are you getting back to Eastern time?
Not exactly, but I gotta go.
Oh, no.
Whoa,
Hey,
whoa,
hold on,
whoa.
quickly. How did the video that we shot with Everywhere, how did the idea happen? I'm trying to remember what was the genesis of the concept.
No, we were driving in the car, and then the song came on, and one of us said like, "Oh, we should recreate that. That's really like, it's such a fun commercial, and every time it comes on, you're like, it's so catchy and whatever." And Julian's filming, and so we were like, "Hey, let's just recreate it," and we just did it.
So on our drive, this was when we were heading down to Vancouver. So this is at the end. This is Saturday. So New Year's Eve, we're driving down from Whistler, Blackcomb in British Columbia, Canada. So we've got a little over a 2-hour drive to Vancouver, where we're going to have Chinese dinner, New Year's Eve in Chinatown, and then go to the airport hotel because we had a 6 a.m. flight back to Tampa on Sunday morning. So while we're driving, we shoot the video. And we had to stop for a little bit. And Julian did a fantastic job. He shot it with his Nikon Z7 II. And the video quality is incredible. Then he edited it in the hotel. We get to the airport hotel at YVR, the Vancouver airport. And he's sitting at the desk in the hotel room on his laptop editing the video. And it's our recreation of the video where everyone is inside the Chevy electric vehicles singing Everywhere. And people love this thing. It's got 8,000 views already. And that was just being up on my Instagram. All right, Michelle, where do you have to go?
You know I have an appointment at 9 a.m.
Oh, that's right. All right, I'll talk to you later, sweetie.
All right, goodbye.
Love you. Bye.
I'm sorry she has to run. I can't talk to her about her kind of drunk dancing in the back of the car, just some really aggressive arm swinging. I'm like, Michelle, wow, you're really into this.
I'll play the audio here, but folks, Andrew, can you...
You're just going to play the song then?
No, well, it's the audio. What we did is we took the actual audio from the commercial, and then you can hear us. We're singing a little bit over it, and, a little bit of overdubbing. So, Andrew, if you can take the video from my Instagram, if you can put it on mjmorningshow.com. Let's give people multiple ways to see the video. But people are loving this thing. The comments, the views. So if you want to see it right now, I encourage you to follow my Instagram. So it is on my Instagram. Go to Certified MJ Radio. It's only 50 seconds long. So on Instagram, go to Certified MJ Radio, and I think it's the second item. It's pinned. So look for the image of Chloe laughing.
Oh, it's top item.
Yeah, it's top item? I thought it was the second item. Anyway, so look for the image of Chloe laughing, and it's Chloe in the back seat. It's one of the cutaway shots. And let me give you the audio. Here's the audio from the actual commercial that we used in our recreation. And it's all us. So we recreated the commercial in our rental SUV. You can even hear me singing here. Oh, there's Michelle.
The drunk dancing. Yeah.
And then it ends with Happy New Year from MJ and family, and then the MJ logo, then the Q105 logo. And just we recreated all of the scenes, and it's me, it's Michelle, it's Chloe, and Julian in the car. And it struck the right chord in the fact that people are...
How many views does it have? Like 80,000?
No, it's not that many yet.
Almost 8,000.
So I think it was at 8,000. But no, if you add it all up, because I put it on my Twitter, it's got thousands of views on my Twitter. On Facebook, it's got thousands of views. So I put it everywhere.
See what you did there?
So what is your issue with Michelle's? She's kind of doing like she's rocking back and forth, doing like she's snapping her fingers. You think she looks drunk?
No. Everybody's kind of like tap dancing, or tapping their hands, or just bopping to the music.
Dancing?
Well, no, not tap dancing, but like tapping their hands, or they're just kind of nodding their head to the music. And then there's one cut of Michelle where she's just like, "Woo, yeah!" It's like a second and a half. But
Fester, you should make a video of that parody of the commercial, but like just parts of your car falling apart. Like you smack the thing and
everywhere.
Yeah,
you tap the wheels.
Fester's 2004 Lincoln Town Car. With
rearview mirror falls
with
off.
Water like flooding his taillights and the cracked windshield and the windshield wipers that don't work and all that.
It's a cute video. It is.
Yeah.
It's very cute.
It's definitely the work of an NYU film student.
Hang on one sec. Michelle?
Very cute.
Hello?
Did she call you on your cell?
What's happening?
All right, hold on a sec.
She
Hang on.
complaints?
Michelle's on my cell phone.
Why?
All right, hold on. Michelle's responding to Fester's criticism.
Oh, great.
Say that again, Michelle.
Because that's exactly what the girl in the video does, and that's what the director of our video instructed me to do.
Okay, listen.
You've offended Michelle. So Fester thinks Michelle looks drunk?
Well, go watch the commercial.
Exactly. So Michelle is doing exactly what the girl in the commercial's doing.
Yes.
So Fester, why are you disparaging my wife?
He's a method actor.
Michelle, you kind of play it different. I'm sorry, hon.
Hun?
Because I kept saying, I really have to do this, and everybody in the car was like, that's exactly what she does in the commercial, Mom.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it came off more hesitant. She didn't want to do it, and then she was just like, finally, whatever.
I don't know.
Look,
Bye.
Cute
Bye,
video,
Michelle.
You're drunk.
Yeah, you've riled up Michelle.
She was drunk, right?
She wasn't drunk.
That's why it resembled.
She's not drunk.
Wow, for somebody who had to run to her appointment, I'm glad she took the time to try to take a bite out of me this morning.
All right, if you go to my Instagram, take a look at the video. People love this thing. And it's our recreation. See us driving in the scenic roads of Highway 99 headed from Whistler down to Vancouver. And everyone said, you know what? I had comments like, oh, this is just what I needed right now. You know,
What? Really?
Yeah, I think it was like mentally soothing for some people.
Schnitt family therapy.
Yeah, there you go.
Listen, for Christmas dinner, MJ, I made a sweet potato casserole.
Yeah.
And it took like 6 or 7 sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
And I don't think all of my sweet potatoes combined are as big as the one that you have on your Instagram that is like twice the size of your head.
All right, folks, again, I encourage you to follow my Instagram. My Instagram has become really my main circuit for social media.
Oh, we know.
Because you know what? I like photos. I like photography and videos. And you know, I don't get into the Twitter's just become nasty. Twitter's become just toxic. And I still am on Twitter, but I use Instagram the most. So I just encourage people to give me a follow at Certified MJ Radio. So the video is up. So you can watch the video there. It's also on my Twitter feed, and it's on MJ Morning Show on Twitter. It's also on MJ Morning Show on Insta, I believe. It's on I did post it on our Facebook page, MJ Morning Show on Facebook. You know, follow us on all the social media. But Fester is also referring to an image that I took of me holding a sweet potato that is like twice the size of my head.
Yeah, you know what I thought it was when I just glanced like in my grid? You know, I didn't click on the picture. I thought you caught a fish and you didn't know how to hold a fish when you caught it. That's how big it is.
I am standing I'm standing in the kitchen of our rental unit in Canada, and we bought this sweet potato at a supermarket called I think Nestor the Molester in Squamish.
What?
No, it was Nestor's Market.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's
like, why add the molester part?
It's just Nestor's Market. But I told the kids, let's go to Nestor the Molester. So we're in this market in Squamish, British Columbia, and we're in the produce section, and Michelle says, oh my God, look at the size of these sweet potatoes. And they have these mutant sweet potatoes, and I'm holding one. Folks, you've never seen a sweet potato this big. This sweet potato, it's twice the size of my head. And it took me 2.5 hours to cook that thing, by the way, on a cookie sheet. Yeah, just coated with some olive oil. Took 2.5 hours to cook this damn thing. And if you want to see that image, also, it's on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. And the other video, did you see the video of Chloe jumping into the bathtub?
I saw it this morning.
All right. So another video, I just posted this yesterday, and
what kind of design flaw is this?
This is crazy. Here, listen to this. Listen to this. In our hotel room tonight, Chloe loves the easy access from the bedroom right into the tub. So you heard the splash.
You guys are a couple.
Does it look like a closet on the one side, on the bedroom side?
We're at the Fairmont Hotel at YVR, which is the Vancouver airport. Very convenient, because all we had to do in the morning was walk downstairs, and literally below the lobby of the hotel was the United Airlines check-in counter. So it was perfect. And we flew from Vancouver to Chicago, and then Chicago to Tampa on Sunday. And this is just a crazy design. In the bathroom, and it's a nice hotel. The Fairmonts are typically nice hotels. And in the hotel room, we got 2 queen beds, and there is like this sliding door that goes right into the tub, but it's not like you can walk through. It's just it
goes into a window that goes into the tub.
There's a sliding door right next to one of the queen beds, and you open up the sliding door, and then you can just walk into or you got to climb over the tub, but you just open these sliding louver doors and boom, there's the tub.
So you could tub and talk to whoever's
that's good.
In our hotel room tonight, Chloe loves the easy access from the bedroom right into the tub. So Chloe opens up the doors and just jumps into this bubble bath that we had prepared.
You can sit in that bubble bath and watch TV in the hotel suite. That's what that's for.
Yeah.
So you have access to
I don't think you can't see. I don't think you can.
can't?
No,
I think it's for jumping in like Chloe's doing.
But it's just weird. So check out this video as well. Andrew will also post both of these videos on mjmorningshow.com. We'll post these in videos mentioned on the MJ Morning Show. So if you go to mjmorningshow.com, at the very top, look for videos mentioned on the MJ Morning Show, and both the remake of the Chevy commercial with us doing Everywhere in the car, and then Chloe jumping into the bathtub.
Did you force her to do that for the content? Did you say that'd be great video?
I mean, listen.
I could use the followers every time you're on.
Chloe loves being a star of my Instagram.
She's the star.
Yeah.
Is this a hotel robe?
And
Yes.
and
Okay, because that's the other thing
she's wearing a hotel robe.
that you leave sopping wet.
We did
for the
views,
housekeeper.
Yeah.
Poor housekeeper.
That's exactly what we did, by the way.
Hope you
Well,
left a
we-
tip.
Traveled over Thanksgiving. That's how the bathroom was, but it was a shower there, and it was doors that open into the shower, so it's on the same level. So I was taking a shower, and my kids open it right up, and you can see right in. But so I think maybe that's a new trend for hotels.
Take a look at the design of this thing, and then, listen, Chloe loves clowning around. Then she's got a great sense of humor, and I don't know what she's going to end up doing. I think she wants to go to law school and follow in Michelle's footsteps.
Oh, she's much too entertaining for that.
Yeah.
What, too funny to be a lawyer?
Yeah. Sounds like a good show.
Maybe she could be in a show called Too Funny to Be a Lawyer.
About a girl that's too funny. She just can't make it in the law world.
This fall on NBC, Too Funny to Be a Lawyer.
I'd watch it.
Anyway, and I have a ton of pictures. I have some great images also. Some great shots, some beautiful scenery from our vacation. Again, I encourage everyone, give me a follow on Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. And go through the feed, see Chloe, see our car scene, see the sweet potato the size of my head, and see some pictures of the mountains that look like watercolor paintings or something. Like Bob Ross paintings. And look at these beautiful clouds over here. A couple of things. I want to talk about other people's travel. Now, we got lucky. Listen, I'm just counting our lucky stars. We got to Canada with no issues. We left really before the major meltdown. We left on Saturday morning, December 17th. And then we flew on New Year's Day. We flew on January 1st. And everything. We initially flew from Tampa to Denver and then Denver to Vancouver. But we had a little complication in that Michelle, Chloe, and I flew to Denver, and then Julian was leaving his boarding school in Connecticut. So Julian flew from Hartford, Connecticut to Denver, and his flight arrived within 20 minutes of ours. So there was a lot of things that could get screwed up, and it didn't. So for us, again, I count our lucky stars. We had to meet Julian in Denver and then all catch the flight to Vancouver. And we were on time. Julian was on time. We met Julian at his gate. He came in 20 minutes after us. And then leaving Vancouver to Chicago, and Chicago can be a mess. Chicago O'Hare is, I think Chicago is the number one airport for cancellations in the country when it comes to weather. But we were fine coming back, no issues. However, it does not escape me. I saw all the news reports. The Southwest Airlines meltdown was colossal. I mean, I even have friends that fly for Southwest. I've got buddies who are captains for Southwest, and one of my buddies was making fun of his own airline on his social media. Like, one of the things he posted was, the Southwest slogan, "Want to get away." and there was like a fake ad. Want to stay home? So the pilots are incensed.
Oh, pilot humor.
No,
Oh boy.
Listen, the pilots for Southwest are angry beyond belief because they've been complaining about Southwest Airlines' antiquated scheduling technology for apparently years and years and years. And Southwest is operating on what they claim is like 1990s technology for their scheduling. You know what I'd like to do here, Andrew? I'd like to grab some phones. Are there any folks that got totally screwed around regarding Southwest Airlines? And I like Southwest. I've had very good luck on Southwest. You know, I've got good memories on Southwest. I still fly Southwest.
What do you mean you have good memories on Southwest?
I was on Southwest when I had to race home because Julian was being born.
Oh, that was the memory? You mean being on a plane?
The memory?
No, I'm just saying that I had to quickly book a flight. Michelle went into labor. I was visiting my parents. I was visiting my parents and my grandma in West Palm. And Michelle went into labor, drove herself to the hospital early on the morning of July 4th, 2004. She drove herself to St. Joe's Women's. And then she's like, Todd, I'm in labor. And I said, all right, hang on. Let me try and get a Southwest flight. And I got like a 9 o'clock flight Southwest. That's when they flew nonstop from West Palm to Tampa, which was a great flight. Got on it. And yeah, I've got a memory of being on Southwest. The flight attendant even made an announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a passenger whose wife is in labor. Can everyone just remain seated and let him leave the airplane first so we can rush to the hospital? And that was a flight attendant on Southwest. And everyone stayed seated. I rushed off the plane, caught a cab.
They clap? Yay!
I caught a cab. Remember when they used to have taxis?
The cabs?
Taxi!
I took a taxi right to St. Joe's, and then Michelle delivered Julian a couple hours later.
Wow.
So
what a memory.
I've got a good memory. I want to go to phones on this, though. Anybody listening, were you messed up by Southwest Airlines? Or do you have a family member? Do you have a Southwest Airlines nightmare story or any other travel nightmare? Because all the airlines were affected. There were, cancellations during the holidays on all of the airlines, but Southwest obviously got hit the hardest. I mean, there are stories about couples missing their wedding, not being able to get to their destination for their wedding. Just all kinds of stories of the holidays and Christmas being ruined. 800-990-1047. So if you have any story about your Southwest situation, did you have a Southwest flight canceled? What about lost luggage? Did you see the videos of thousands of pieces of luggage that were piled up? It was a mess. I don't even know if everyone has their luggage yet. And what were you saying? Did you send me some story last night? And did you comment? I think Fester sent me an email, and you commented, yeah, I'm going to start putting my name on my luggage.
No, not the name.
What?
Air tags. The story's about a woman who put an Apple AirTag on. No, I have my name on my luggage.
I probably thought you meant name tags.
No, air tags.
So inventive.
You didn't say AirTag. You said name tag.
Did I? Did autocorrect?
Yes.
It must have been autocorrect.
In your text, in your email, it said name
Oh,
tag.
wow. Were you going to put your phone number on there, too?
Okay,
That's very helpful.
Autocorrect got me.
Yes.
But it was an AirTag
I'm
story.
like, yeah, you really should put a name tag on your luggage.
Well, a woman was tracking her bag, and then they had these third-party courier services deliver bags sometimes, but it was the end of the guy's shift.
Right.
So he took the bag home, and she realizes that her bag is at some guy's house until the next morning when he decides to get up and deliver it.
Hey, listen, there's a story of people finding luggage abandoned at a dumpster.
Oh.
So I don't know if some of these third-party vendors just dump bags at a dumpster. All right, let's go to phones. Phones are ringing. Again, were you affected by Southwest, or were you affected by any other travel issue with the airlines over the holidays? Let's go to phones.
Don't forget about the glitch, the computer glitch that caused travel issues around Florida.
Yeah, well, that happened over the weekend, right?
Yeah.
All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047 is how you get on. Oh, before I go to phones here, quick mention. So when you sent me that email, I'm like, yeah, duh, of course you put your name tag.
I typed out the word air tag and then autocorrect got me. I'm sorry.
Of course you got to put your name tag on the bag, but also, let me give out a tip. Put your name inside your luggage as well. Put a sticker or something inside your checked bag that also has your name, address, and phone number and email. Put that inside your bag just in case a tag gets ripped off on the outside. Let's grab Patty in Bradenton. Patty, you're on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hi, Patty.
Good morning. Welcome back.
Thank you, Patty. Appreciate it.
Yeah, on December 23rd, my son was oh, sorry, I just woke up.
That's all right.
My son was flying in from Phoenix and going through Dallas, the most southern route, so it wouldn't be affected by the weather and such. And he went from Phoenix, got to Dallas, and they canceled his flight to Tampa.
All right, so he got from Phoenix to Dallas, but they canceled the Dallas to Tampa flight.
Yes, they did.
And that was December 23rd.
That was the 23rd. And then he wound up losing his luggage, and I haven't asked him where.
Hold on. Did he ever make it to Tampa?
No.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
He spent the whole next day trying to get back home to Phoenix.
So they could not get him to Tampa?
No.
So the holidays were ruined. He was supposed to be with you for Christmas.
Yes, they couldn't get him to Tampa until Sunday.
Oh my God!
And Sunday was Christmas, and it would have been later in the day, and he had to go back the next day. So that was out.
Oh, jeez.
And then his wife, my sweet daughter-in-law, also lives in Phoenix. She is a new Southwest flight attendant. Just started this past.
Whoa! Hold on, wait a minute. Stop. Who? One of your relatives is a Southwest flight attendant?
Yes.
Hold on. Is it your son's? Who is it?
Wife. It's his wife.
So So your son who got stuck in Dallas, his wife is now a Southwest flight attendant?
Right. She started last year. She's been there not quite a year, so she had to work through the holidays. So she couldn't come here.
Oh, my God.
She, at the same time, was stuck in another city somewhere for 7 hours because of the flight cancellations.
Oh, wow. So your son couldn't make it to the Tampa Bay area for Christmas, and then his wife is a Southwest flight attendant, and she's stuck somewhere. Hey, Patty, thanks for the call. Angela is in Plant City. Angela, you're on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hi.
Good morning. So my sister-in-law had to drive my niece to Texas because her flight was canceled, and she ended up having to stay in Texas. She's like, well, I'm already here, so I'm going to stay because I obviously can't drive back.
Where do they drive from?
From Tampa Bay area.
Oh, my God. So wait a minute. You had a relative drive somebody from Tampa Bay to Texas?
Yep. She needed to be back. And not only that, I also work with hotels, so a lot of guests needing to extend reservations with incoming reservations, so it caused a big headache for that as well.
Unbelievable.
So it has a ripple effect. Yep.
Well, and then now who made the trip? Who drove your relative to Texas?
My sister-in-law drove my niece.
Wow. And then had to drive all the way back to Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Luckily, she's used to long-distance trips because of her daughter's hobbies and things like that, but still, it was an unexpected. All right, everybody.
I mean, listen, that's not like driving to Jacksonville and back. I mean, it's like driving to Texas and back. Hey, thanks for the call. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. If you have any Southwest Airlines holiday nightmare story, and isn't Southwest saying that they're just now getting back to normal?
Yeah, it's taking a long time to recover.
Wow. John's in Tampa. Hey, John, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi. Yes, first off, if you want to see some horror stories on YouTube with all the police officers that are being called by Southwest to arrest passengers.
Yeah, so I saw that at the counter in Nashville.
Yeah, I saw that as well, and I think I saw a couple of videos where airport police were like, they were removing passengers that were angry at Southwest counter workers.
But this for a fact, there was no glitch. I know this for a fact.
You mean the glitch that they're talking about? Okay, so there's a glitch that they're reporting that happened in an air traffic controller center that affected Florida airports.
No. That's not. We're not talking about that. We're talking.
Well, that just is.
No. That's a whole separate story.
Okay.
We're not there yet. No. We're talking about Southwest over Christmas.
Right.
All right. Go ahead, John. So do you have a conspiracy theory to interject here?
Half the pilots that were going on vacation, and the other half that were being let go because they wouldn't take the job, they coincided at the same time, so you didn't have no pilots for the flights, and they just classified it on a glitch, but they did not.
Wait a minute, you're saying that pilots that were scheduled to be off on vacation coinciding with pilots that what?
That were let go because they wouldn't take the jab, the COVID shot.
That's not accurate.
Well,
yeah, I have Southwest buddies, and they're saying it's scheduling and computers. They had a computer malfunction and meltdown. Yeah.
No, I'm going with John.
Talk to some pilots. Trust me.
Yeah.
I know a lot of pilots.
I trust John.
John sounds trustworthy.
I don't think that's accurate.
Oh, no,
but
John's on point.
My Southwest pilots are saying nothing about that. Thanks, John. Appreciate
all
it.
goes back to the jab. Yep. I trust John.
Oh, God.
I'm going to confer with my Southwest pilots, and I'll let you know what I find out.
Julie in Pasco. Julie, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Morning. I was in Puerto Rico and planning to leave on the 26th, and when I got to the airport, it kept delaying until 2:30 in the morning. We were told that the flight canceled, and the pilot from Orlando to Puerto Rico wasn't available to pick us up, and they told us we couldn't get off the island until December 31st.
My God. So when did you finally get home?
Well, what happened was I had to get to Florida, so we had to fly into the earliest flight into Florida, which was Fort Lauderdale on the 29th, and then rent a car and drive to Tampa Airport to get my car that I had left at the airport.
Wow. And are you going to go to Southwest for reimbursement on everything?
On everything.
Yeah, I believe Southwest claims that they're going to reimburse passengers for hotel stays or rental cars. So anybody affected by Southwest, pursue all avenues for reimbursement for any out-of-pocket expenses that you faced. Julie, I'm sorry for your problems, but I'm glad you're back.
I am too.
Thanks, Julie. Have a great day. All right, let me grab one more. Justin in Tampa. Justin, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
How you doing?
Doing well. What happened with your family in Southwest?
Yeah, so my daughter was supposed to fly in on the 28th from Louisville. She got to the airport about 4 a.m. for a 5:30 flight. They emailed me at 3:56, said minors weren't allowed to have like a stoppage. They had to be straight through. So she had about a 4 minute when they drove 2 hours to Louisville. They wouldn't let her fly. She had to reschedule and get on a flight that night in Nashville, which was like 3 hours from where she lived. So we got a $200 reimbursement. She actually made it. So 12 hours, 13 hours of the day wasted. But
yeah, I mean, we're talking about tens of thousands of people. And, people were like calling Southwest. They were getting recordings. They were getting ridiculous hold times. People were calling Southwest and they were hearing this. So that obviously infuriated people as well. Like, what the hell is that?
What the hell is that? That was awesome.
What is that?
You call Southwest and you get this.
I like that. Cool.
Should I be offended by that, or?
I think it's awesome.
I don't know.
All right, so Roxanne, now what
is that?
What were you trying?
Okay, so
hold on. What was that?
You've never heard that before?
Coca-ching pow? What is that? I've never heard that.
That's from that novelty song from like the early 90s.
Is that a Big Bopper song?
No, that was Ponderous, Too New. You don't remember that?
No.
You don't remember it was a parody song.
Too You?
It was like it was a song and Too New. The number
Too New.
Yeah, it was the number was the name of the group was Too New. The number 2, then NU.
Do you have the rest of the song for context?
Well, if you go to YouTube, you can find it.
I have to.
That's worse than Disco Duck.
You've never heard that song?
I've never heard that.
I've never heard it.
You never heard that?
What is now 3? I heard.
All right, hold on. Tell you what, I'll cue up the actual song when we get back. I'm running late here, so I don't want to get too late. Also, Roxanne, you were trying to interject something completely unrelated.
Okay, actually, it's not unrelated because it is also about flight delays, and it's more recent.
But okay, we had a flight delay here in Florida.
Okay, while you were playing your games with John about who knows more Southwest pilots, I was talking to a texter who had a recent delay. Because of a computer issue glitch.
Right, we were talking about first we were talking about the Southwest meltdown over Christmas, and then there was a whole separate glitch which affected all airlines at multiple airports like yesterday.
Exactly.
But that's totally different than the Southwest Christmas meltdown, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
But that is important. So hold on to that thought. We'll get to that next as well, and then I'll play a little bit of the actual song that little.
It's like the worst orderer at an Asian restaurant, like Kung Ping Chow, ginseng tea. Listen to it. What is he saying there? I have no idea.
I will make it all crystal clear next. Hang on.
Where the hell did that come from?
Hang on. I'll make it make sense next. Hang on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Stand by. Hey. Q105, 8:53, and another long chunk of the MJ Morning Show starts right now. First show back here in 2023. Happy New Year, everybody. Hopefully you had some good time off. You didn't get messed up with the air travel situation, especially Southwest. And Roxanne, you wanted to bring up the other air travel story. Hold on. And then there's a really, really unfortunate airplane story, which is, oh, my God. You think a wood chipper's bad. Holy moly. All right, hold on a minute. Get to that here in a second. First, I've got to just clear things up because none of my crew had ever heard this. So I was just joking around, and I was saying that, you know, folks were calling Southwest during the meltdown, and people were getting this when they called Southwest.
Reminds me of those old. Remember those old songs? They would incorporate like names of different movies into it. It'd be like, "Oh my gosh, look, Jaws is coming," and then it'd be like,
yeah, "Mr. Jaws, why you're biting my hand?"
Yeah, is that guy?
No, it's not. All right, here's the song that it came from. Hey, Andrew, were you familiar with the song? Had you heard this before?
I had heard it.
Yeah. So was this like 1990 or something?
I don't remember when it was.
Yeah, the group was called Too New, and the song was called Ponderous.
They should have named it
It
Tedious.
is Ponderous.
Tedious is a...
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Disastrous.
Dude, this thing is fun. I love this.
It's terrible.
What do you mean it's terrible?
It does not hold up.
And I think Mike Fester might be right when he says it's a little offensive.
This is not racist. Something about Jen Sing tea and one is now 3.
I believe, just a blanket statement, anything that incorporates a ching pow is offensive to some group of people.
Listen, this
okay,
this is the actual song that it came from. I'll play a little bit of it. Listen. Here it is. Oh, hang on.
Oh, that's way better.
Hang on. I had the wrong thing. Hold on. Hang on. I'll get it. All right. This is the song that it came from.
This is ponderous, man.
Yeah, it is.
Really ponderous.
I think that's a take on the Casey Kasem situation. That old outtake tape.
This is raining outside, I guess.
Yeah, listen.
I had this dream the other night. I went to work one day, and nobody remembered who I was. So I decided to take the day off. On my way out, I run into my boss, and he says, "Hey, you look familiar." I said, "Thanks. People say that a lot in these dreams." And the horns kicked in. And my shoes started to squeak.
This is such a turd, dude.
Listen.
Then all of a sudden, I'm standing on a beach in some tropical part of the world, and there's a sign that says, "Aren't you supposed to be at work?" Sort of screamed out at me. I remember, I'd been here in other dreams.
All right, here comes the poppling cow.
Water polo game, and a girl who could talk with her eyes, and she'd say,
"Can you see what I'm saying?"
And the horns kicked in, and my shoes started to squeak.
All right, here it comes.
Before I knew it, I was walking near a lake when a phone rings, and the operator speaks to me in a language I don't understand.
So that's where it comes from.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
what?
It's a long time to get there.
Come on.
I hope the Bow Bow Chicka Chicka guy kicks his ass.
You don't like the song?
That's horrible. That's horrible.
No. Is it a song?
It was a song.
Sounds like an acid trip.
narusinga. Tinkabalana wana idamu pao. Hedi kapalua kama Genesing tea. Umama chakapana one is now 3.
Hey, Andrew, did Q105 ever play that back like in 1990, whenever that thing was out? No.
I can
not
picture.
a song.
Yeah, it reminds me of something that like Matthew McConaughey would listen to or play his bongos naked
while high.
Yes.
Can you cleanse my palate with something good like Disco Duck?
No,
Something.
or the Streak or something.
All right.
All right.
Eat my shorts, maybe.
All right, so a couple of things. Roxanne, you were trying to jam in your air traffic problem here in Florida. Was it yesterday?
Yes.
But you were trying to jam it into the Southwest story, which was over Christmas. That's a whole separate thing.
Okay, right. Can I jam it now?
I mean, you were so eager beaver to get this thing in. All right, so go ahead and jam it in now.
That's what she said. Okay, so this is a computer issue caused delays at airports across Florida.
Yeah.
Because, so basically a computer went down, and then you had 139 delays at Tampa International Airport yesterday.
Yeah, so Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, a bunch of Florida airports had problems.
Yes, and so basically it was flights in and out of Florida.
Right.
And this, but it makes you wonder, like, oh my gosh, a little simple computer problem, and then you have these kinds of issues. And the computer problem was at, some air traffic controller center. So that's all I got.
There it is. yes.
And
Andrew.
what is worse than a computer glitch for your flight?
Getting sucked into an airplane engine? Are you setting me up for the segue here? Is that it?
I was trying.
Yeah.
Wow, Andrew's doing setups in 2023. All right. Okay.
Oh man, this is a terrible story. An airport worker was sucked into a jet engine.
Is this at a big airport?
It was in Alabama, I thought.
Is there a big airport in Alabama? What,
Yeah.
Birmingham? What? I don't know.
Yeah, you got
Birmingham
You
International.
got Birmingham, you got Mobile.
I don't think of Mobile as a big airport.
This happened at Montgomery.
Okay.
Montgomery, Alabama. This is awful. A ground worker at a regional airport, Montgomery, Alabama, was sucked into a jet engine on the ramp.
Oh, my God.
Ingested into the engine of an American Airlines jetliner parked at the gate. Yeah, the worker was sucked into the Embraer 170. It's a commuter jet. I've been on Embraer 170s, 190s, 195s.
You've been in the engine?
I've not been sucked in. I've been in the cabin, which is the place that you want to be. You don't want to be in the engine. You don't want to be in the cargo hold. But the worker was sucked into an American Airlines regional jet about 3 p.m. on Saturday, where it had its parking brake set, according to the NTSB. The flight from Dallas to Montgomery, Alabama was operated by Envoy Air, which is owned by American Airlines Group. The airport said the victim worked for Piedmont Airlines, another American regional subsidiary, and was a ground worker. I don't know if it was a baggage individual. I don't know whether it was the guy that brings them into the gate with those little glow sticks or whatever the hell they use.
How's there not more information about who the guy is or person?
Well, see if there's my story's from over the weekend. See if there's any update on this thing.
Did he just? I mean, not to. I don't know. Did he just? Is he turned to like liquid? Is he
All right,
just,
listen. Froggy, we don't need that kind of
I'm just
specifics.
trying. I'm wondering, what do they do with the motor?
Well, I would imagine there's probably damage to the fan blades.
Hose it off.
Pressure washer. Some OxyClean.
Stop. This was a coworker. This is a relative. This is a loved one. Come on. I mean, this is a terrible, terrible story.
Yeah, that's bad.
Also, the Embraer 170. Fester, can you? I would imagine bring up a picture of the 170.
Okay.
Just type in. Are those? I'm trying to remember the Embraer 170s, or I think are those wing-mounted engines versus those rear fuselage-mounted engines. Bring up the 170 are wing-mounted engines.
Well, it has to be. I mean, you can't get sucked into a engine in the tail.
Well,
it's awfly high off the ground back there.
Yeah. I don't listen.
That'd be a strong suction power.
Well, the thrust of those things are pretty intense, but these were.
All right,
I had to do it too. I had to do it too.
Three of us have got Fester. Your turn sometime today.
I refuse. I refuse.
I just jump on the bandwagon.
But,
good jokes.
How awful is that? Can you imagine
No, I really
No, I mean-
can't.
Those guys are so nice. We always Daviana and I always wave to them when we're up in the plane.
So I follow this YouTube page about horrific industrial accidents.
Right?
Hold on, wait. Is this another YouTube channel that you follow?
Industrial
All right,
accidents.
first of all, ladies and gentlemen, Froggy follows the Sovereign Citizen channel.
Audit the audit, yes, of course.
What
the
else?
police tube, the fake cops,
The
they get
fake
arrested
cop
by real
channel.
cops.
All right. So
all kinds.
So what is this new one you follow?
It is industrial accidents. And
Like workers in a bread factory caught in a mixer?
Yeah, I saw a woman get her arm crushed by a presser. All kinds of stuff. And this, there's a couple videos up there.
Hold on. You will sit and watch this crap?
Well, you got to desensitize yourself. That's how I look at it.
All right. So what are you going to say?
I'm just saying there's numerous videos of people getting sucked into engines like that, and it never goes well.
I know that there's a video floating around like on an aircraft carrier, or I know there was a military accident where some type of a soldier or whatever was sucked into an engine, but survived and then climbs out.
Well,
I mean,
maybe you can survive.
Didn't get chopped up.
That's a lucky
Well, this
guy.
is terrible. The flight was Dallas to Montgomery. The airport said the victim worked for Piedmont. We are saddened to hear about the tragic loss of a team member of the American Airlines Piedmont Airlines family. Our thoughts and prayers. In a statement, American Airlines said it was devastated by the incident. We're focused on ensuring that all involved have the support they need during this difficult time, the company said, declining further comment. The NTSB and the FAA are conducting a probe.
Wow.
Fester?
I'm not going to say. I'm not gonna
It's
do
your
it.
turn.
Fester.
Come on, Andrew.
The NTSB and the FAA are conducting a probe.
That's what she said.
Fester, you're only one left.
It's fine. I'll stand on this island alone.
Fester won't do it.
I'll stand on it alone.
When a jet engine is operating, the air getting sucked into the intake can cause a low air pressure area that can pull nearby people into rotating blades. When parked, cones are placed near the engines to mark the boundaries of the hazard area, the exact sizes of which are provided in the plane's operating manual, according to High Sky Flying. For example, the hazard area for an Airbus 320 is 14 feet in front of and on the sides of the engine inlet, according to the site. It's rare for ground personnel to be sucked into engines because they're trained about the dangers and how to stand clear of them. The dead ground worker has not been identified yet, according to this story.
Horrible.
That is a rough story. That is awful. So, all right, I have an item here about a Christmas present that was not received very well. And the question that I have for you, I think especially you, Roxanne, in the middle of this, don't break into an air traffic story.
Okay,
All right?
I'll try not to.
Have you heard there's been a glitch back in Florida?
All right, so all right, here's the issue. A woman claims that her husband gave her a gym membership for Christmas.
Oh, my God.
And this has turned into, oh, so you think I'm fat? Oh, so you think I need to lose weight? So are you trying to tell me something? So sometimes the most well-intended gifts or, what is the terminology? Intentions? What is the, I can't
The
think of it.
road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yes, there you go.
Is that what I'm trying to, yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. Thank you, Fester.
No good intention goes unpunished.
Yeah, no
That's
good
what she
deed. No
said.
good.
You can't pave a road with intentions impossible.
No good act.
Yeah, you
So,
should look at my road.
What is it? No
good act goes unpunished.
Yeah, that's another
Or
thing.
deed. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Roxanne, how do you perceive this?
Yeah.
That a woman who is, the report says, considerably overweight, was given a gym membership by her husband for Christmas, and now...
Oh, she is considerably
Yeah,
overweight.
that was it. Did you say that
changes
before?
everything.
Because that does. I mean,
So the husband gave her the Christmas gift. It's a gym membership. It turns out that she is considerably overweight, and now she's like pissed off apparently. And
okay, that gym membership would just make me want to eat more. Like if someone tries to make me do something because they think I need to change the way I am, then it just makes me want to be opposite.
What if you get him like an exercise bike or something? You can take that the same way.
There's a mommy blog. Have you ever heard of Mum's Net?
No.
Must be British.
Yeah.
There's maybe so. This is what she wrote on the blog. This Christmas, my husband gifted me a very expensive gym membership for 12 months. I am very fit and active, but simply have no time to go to the gym, and my husband knows this. The woman wrote in a now viral "Am I being unreasonable?" thread on this mommy blog. Despite being considerably overweight himself, my husband has been making pointed comments about my weight for some time. I have a BMI of 20. Am I being unreasonable to be pissed off? She wrote in the post. Thousands of comments have been posted.
BMI of 20 doesn't sound that high, does it?
I mean, I'm 60, so I mean.
Oh,
20's
wait a minute. Hold on. I screwed up.
Kilograms?
No.
300.
So she's
No,
fit and
no.
active.
Hold on a minute. A woman's considerably overweight husband gave her the gift.
Wait.
I said it wrong. I said that
He's fat.
I said that the woman was considerably overweight. No, the husband is considerably overweight, but she's still offended that the husband gave her a gym membership.
Why? Does he want her to take him?
I don't know.
Like it sounds like he needs one.
One person suggested phone the gym and change it to his name.
Yeah.
See, there's different ways you could do that. Like when I told you about when I was one of my best friends, I used to give him a Jenny Craig card every day for a year when we were kids. And that was to outright say you're fat.
Dude, you're a bully.
So
that was like high school bullying. That's,
I mean, it was pretty funny.
You're a bully.
They're still friends to this day. But that was bad intention. Did this guy have did he want to piss her off and be like, screw it? She's like, I'm out of here. Or
is it possible that like one time 3 months ago she might have said, I'd really like to go to the gym sometime, and she just put it out in the universe and completely forgot about it, and this guy's trying to get her something that he believes in his heart that she's going to love and appreciate and not flip out about?
Or did he do it out of spite? Maybe she said, you know what, you should get a workout bike because you're fat. And what if he said, you know what? I think you need a workout bike.
I'm going to get you a gym membership.
Well, there's another big question, too. Is that all that he got her?
I have no idea. All right,
Because
so I screwed up the original part of the story. He's overweight. She's not. I guess she claims she's fit, but she's still insulted that she got a gym membership for Christmas.
Why is she insulted if she's fit?
Just get her P90X.
Is that still around?
I don't know.
You probably get a really good deal on it now.
Probably get those DVDs at like the Goodwill thrift store for 99 cents is what I'm thinking. All right, moving along here. I guess this guy's in trouble down in Miami for dyeing his little dog like a Pikachu.
I never liked the dyeing the dogs thing.
I think apparently it's illegal.
See people do it to their hair.
A Miami Heat fan is getting a whole lot of backlash after he showed off his Pikachu Pokemon-inspired fur dyeing during a game.
All right, this is a bit much.
Have you seen the picture of this?
Yeah, I've seen dogs with accented highlights maybe on their fur, which, okay.
This is a Pomeranian that is as yellow as one of those Peeps. You know those?
Yeah.
Froggy, he dropped the whole dog in a vat of dye.
It does look delicious now.
It looks like you'd eat this dog.
Yes.
The dog is bright like Tweety Bird yellow. It's a little Pomeranian. And this has actually stirred a lot of controversy, and a lot of folks are angry. Apparently, this guy's going to be investigated. The guy's name is roll the audio back. Roll back to the beginning there.
Okay.
Yeah, roll it back to and then stop. Just stop it. All right. So this guy spoke to Channel 7 in Miami, WSVN, where if it bleeds, it leads. His name is Eric Torres, and he said he has nothing to be sorry about. He says, I'm not going to apologize. I knew exactly what I was doing. But a lot of people are angry that he dyed his Pomeranian bright yellow, and they're saying that it looks like Pikachu now. And then video of this guy Torres and his yellow Pomeranian. It's gone viral. This is, I guess, during Monday night's game. And I guess it's illegal in Florida to dye a dog's fur.
I mean, does dog even know? I mean, it's not like it's...
I mean, I think the dog knows that it's a white dog one day, and then, oh my gosh, I'm yellow.
I thought dogs see black and white.
That's a good point. I heard they were colorblind.
So the dog might not even know that it's been dyed. Unless, does the dye have any sort of like toxic chemicals in it that would make it dangerous?
He claims that he used food-grade dye.
Oh.
So he's claiming that it was not toxic, that he used food-grade dye. But Channel 7 points out, even if the dye job is harmless, it doesn't mean it's legal. The pet owner was fined $200 for violating Miami-Dade County's Ordinance 5-12A, which essentially states it's illegal to be in possession of any dyed or artificially colored animal. Is that like a state thing, or is that just like a county thing in Miami-Dade?
And so does that go, I mean, you can't probably have, your dog can't have any piercings or anything like that either?
Is that true?
Or, I don't know.
Just 8 nipple piercings?
Trying to think of different things, different ways we change ourselves as humans. Dogs aren't allowed to be tattooed.
Here's the audio. And Andrew, if you want to put this up on stories that we mentioned on the MJ Morning Show, grab the story so people can see the video and see the yellow Pikachu Pomeranian. Roll the video there, Fester.
All right.
And I think this is a guy being interviewed.
This South Florida Pomeranian went viral after showing up courtside at a Heat game Monday.
It made NBA history because nobody's ever seen a Pikachu dog sitting next to an NBA player before.
But it's Pikachu's fur color that is now making headlines. The dog had already gotten the attention of Miami-Dade Animal Services during an inspection at his owner's Doral puppy store on December 21st.
Pikachu was in the store. There was a staff member holding the dog on her lap, and we obtained a photograph at that time.
Kathleen Labrada, assistant director of Miami-Dade Animal Services, says there's a county ordinance saying it is unlawful for any person to possess, sell, or otherwise transfer within the county any dyed or artificially colored rabbit or other animal. So on December 28th, a few days after the initial inspection at World Famous Puppies, the county told Eric Torres, the dog's owner, they would be issuing a citation.
No animal should be dyed, regardless of whether there's an ordinance prohibiting that or not. You don't really have any guarantee or any assurance.
Yeah, I don't think this guy should have done it.
The ordinance use that you brought up, MJ, specifically said rabbits.
No, it says or other animal,
right,
apparently.
But it must have started back with people making their rabbits look like peeps.
For Easter, that's right. Well, that's a whole different
Dumb.
problem. That's a whole other issue in the families and the moms and dads that think it'd be so cute to have a bunch of bunnies for their kids on Easter morning. And then every year there's like this bunny dilemma where people are dumping bunnies all over the place.
Dude, Dave the Dwarf and I did it. His sister got like a bunch of bunnies. We dropped them off at the Northdale Golf Course.
Oh, did you really?
Yes.
Oh, that's sweet.
You just
Dave's
dropped off.
He's like, Fester, man.
These aren't wild rabbits. These are like domesticated little bunnies. You guys just dropped them off on a golf course?
raise some bunnies.
He's
man.
like,
what the hell's the matter with you?
My sister has like 48 bunnies in her. We got to get rid of them.
Like, what's the matter with you guys?
What else you going to do?
Yeah.
Anyway, this dog. I mean, you shouldn't die a dog. Wait till you see the picture. We'll have the story up at mjmorningshow.com. Look in stories mentioned, very top of the page. Look for stories mentioned on the MJ Morning Show. Hey, phones have lit up. I didn't even give out the phone number on this, but the phones have lit up. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Let's grab some calls. Tracy's in Largo. Hey, Tracy.
Hi, how are you?
We're doing well. What's up?
I'm a dog groomer, and my dog is actually died. She's been died for the past 7 years. She's 8.5. And as far as I have read through the laws in Florida, if any livestock, rabbit, chick, or anything like that, or any dog or any other animal under the age of 12 that is not under 12 weeks that is not able to be dyed, and they can't be dyed for the purchase of for the sale for selling them. So like you were saying with the chicks and the rabbits, that was how the whole law came about. It's because people were dyeing them just to sell them, and then they were dumping them.
Yeah.
But as far as I've read on the laws that as long as the dog is over 12 weeks old or cat.
All right, but Tracy, I guess the question we have for you is, why are you dyeing your dog? For what reason?
I guess it's kind of for myself, but she actually loves it.
How do you know? All right, what kind of dog is it, first of all?
She's a Maltese.
All right, and then what color have you dyed your Maltese?
Any color that you can think of. Right now she has leopard print. She's
Sweet.
had where it looks like she was like sewn together for Halloween.
Hold on, you've put like stitching dye on your dog?
Yeah, so she was like
Frankendog?
yeah, pretty much. She was a Frankendog, and then she had like a hairy spider. One time I did a hairy shark on her with a dye flag for a fishing thing, and then she's had.
Has anyone ever complained?
Got to be single.
I'm not, first of all, but no, actually, I've had maybe one or two in the 8 years that I've owned her that they didn't really complain. They just say, "Why would you do that?" Or that you shouldn't do that or whatever. But
and you're saying your dog does not mind it? I mean, you don't really know whether your dog likes it.
Well, after she gets dyed, first of all, she doesn't mind the process because I've been doing it for her for a long time. So she's used to the grooming process because she gets groomed like almost every week, at least a bath. And after she gets dyed, she is like jumping around, happy. She knows people give her attention, so she knows like after she's dyed that she is going to get the attention. She's like kind of correlated the grooming process with going to get the attention from whoever we see.
And how is your dog dyed now?
She has leopard print.
Oh, that's right. Okay, you did say that. So she has leopard print. All right, so she has leopard print now. You did say that. What is next?
I'm going to do a Valentine's Day with hearts on her body. She has boots, so the boots are always stay like hairy boots.
Put a fake
So she
Cupid
gets
arrow
colored.
through her.
I couldn't hear that. Sorry, it broke up.
Hey, shoot her with Cupid's arrow. It'd be really great, Tracy.
Maybe. We'll see.
All right, Tracy, thanks for the
Sorry,
call.
I
All
don't
right.
like my idea.
Jackie is in Treasure Island. Hey, Jackie, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, everybody. I got the actual statute if you'd like to hear it.
Yeah, go.
The
So
whole
wait a
thing,
minute.
yes.
We had the Miami-Dade statute. What statute are you reading?
I have the state of Florida statute.
All right, go ahead. Let me hear it.
It's statute 828.161, prohibiting artificial coloring and sale of certain animals and fowls. It is unlawful for any person to dye or color artificially any animal or fowl, including but not limited to rabbits, baby chickens, ducklings, or to bring any dyed or colored animal or fowl into the state. So there you go.
There you go. And then, first of all, how did they allow this guy into the Miami Heat arena? How they allow him in with a dog? I didn't think you were allowed to bring a dog into a sporting event like that.
Unless it's probably a service animal or an emotional support animal. Or something
Jackie,
like that.
Jackie, how did you have the statute so readily available?
She's been on hold for 8 minutes. Maybe she looked it up.
I did. I sat here and I said, I'm waiting to pick up a friend of mine here in Treasure Island. And I said, I'm going to look it up real quick. I did. I called the 800 number.
Yeah, Fester, there's something called the internets.
Never heard of
okay?
it.
You ever hear of the Googles?
I mean, it's very specific, MJ. I just happen to have the statute here for the
All
state.
you have to do is go to Google and type in Florida statute on dyed animals.
People
you can
know how
find
to
it.
search.
You can find it in 1 second.
I thought Jackie was like a very passionate anti-dog dyer.
Fester,
here.
Let's see how fast you can bring it up,
Story real
Fester.
quick. On Halloween, I was over in Gulfport, and a girlfriend of mine didn't die, spray painted her dog for Halloween. And
Spray painted it with Krylon?
No, like with hair, you can go to Sally Beauty and get
okay.
orange.
All right, yep.
And it washes right out. And this woman actually called the Gulfport Police Department to report her. Now, the statute I just read you, that's a very strict interpretation of it.
Yep.
So the cops actually showed up. They were having a pet costume contest down in front of the Gulfport Beach Bazaar, and the cops showed up and said, "You're going way overboard on this. This does not apply to domestic pets like cats or dogs."
Okay.
It's someone taking this statute. If this guy in Miami actually got a ticket, and it's they don't, and the Miami statute's different. They might be able to enforce it, but the Florida statute does not cover dogs at all. It's more
Gotcha. All right. Hey, thanks for the call. Appreciate it, Jackie.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Festa, well, how'd you happen to find that?
I mean,
hello.
she names
Google.
the number.
If you Google it, you'll get the statute number in 2 seconds.
I happen to have the statute number here.
Let's play the Google bugle.
That's what it's called, Google. All right. When we get back, final chunk of the show, our first show of 2023. Festa, did you see the Cousin Eddie controversy?
Did he go nut again?
Hold on.
I miss his old videos.
We've got the who are you talking about?
Cousin Eddie.
He's talking about Randy Quaid.
Yeah,
the
Randy
actor.
Quaid.
Oh yeah. I am.
Remember the videos and the flashing lights?
Yeah. Now
He's gone crazy.
There's a Cousin Eddie issue here, which I don't understand it. Also, a couple of celebrity things. You see the latest on Bill Cosby?
Well, Bob,
you got to be kidding me.
I'm going.
You have got to be. There's a Bill Cosby update. You got to be freaking kidding me. And then also celebrity deaths. We got to talk about a couple. And then I don't get it. The #1 movie at the box office. I'm sorry, folks. I just do not get it. Hold on. Final chunk of the MJ Morning Show is next here on Q105. Stand by. badly? Is there something you did that was embarrassing? Roxanne was just telling us during the break that she was spotted apparently by two different people out for sushi last night.
Yeah, and actually...
Is Monday night a big sushi night? I mean, I don't think Monday's a big typical restaurant night. So what, you guys are going out on a Monday night for sushi?
Yeah, you know what? I went and got this. I think I told you about this. I did cryotherapy yesterday for the first time.
You did not tell me you did cryotherapy.
Okay, well, I did
What
that
were you
for the
crying
first time.
about?
I did
Were you
cry.
crying?
I know cry therapy. I do that here on Friday mornings usually. It seems when that's my cry day.
Why? Why do you cry on Fridays?
I don't know. It just works out that way. But in any case, cryotherapy is when you get in a really cold room.
I know. I was joking around.
I did that for the first time, and when I was done, I was like, let's have one more night out before I have to go back to work. So I took the kids to sushi, and some of the people that are texting saw me there. And I was like, thank God my kids were not acting like complete animals. They were really on good behavior.
So your kids were not monsters at the sushi place?
No, they always
throwing the soy sauce containers across the restaurant?
Doug wasn't yelling at a high pitch?
No.
I didn't know
Everybody
that.
was on good behavior.
I didn't know that Monday night was a big sushi night for two listeners to see you at a sushi
I know,
place.
it was packed. It was sushi
Really?
alive, and it was very crowded.
Dude, it was
Yes.
alive.
Last night, I was at Publix, right? And they have chicken breasts on sale this week. Buy one, get one free. But it's only for a package of the same price or less. So I have all the chicken packets out trying to find the two that are the exact same price. So I don't overpay a couple cents for one. And a lady
Are
comes
you
up-
kidding me?
Well, hold on. The chicken's buy one, get one free, but it's per pound. So you pay for the more expensive one and you get the less expensive one free. Right. So why wouldn't I want to find one that's exactly the
20
same price?
cents?
Did you just duh him?
Sometimes like 40 cents.
Oh
45
my
cents.
God, are you serious?
So
You're
I
going to waste your time with
You're talking
that?
about Fester.
So I have all the chicken in the Publix display like laid out, and I'm looking at all the prices, and a lady comes up to me and she goes, "Hey, you're Fester from the MJ Morning Show, right?" I go, yeah. She
Yeah, I'm
goes-
trying to save 31 cents.
And she says, we
Times are
love.
rough.
You know what she says? She says, "We love Froggy." She's like, we listen every morning. We love Froggy. And I was
Well,
like,
thank you.
Like, thanks.
Did you end up getting your meat?
Like, thanks for listening.
For
That's what
nothing.
she said. All right. So, did she make any mention about Roxanne?
No, she was
or
a Froggy.
me?
She said, she goes, "You're fast." I'm like looking at like 40 packages of meat laid out over several feet on this case.
And you're trying to find the exact same price?
Because you pay for the higher priced one. I wanted to be.
got it. So, all right. So, one is $8.68 and one is $8.27.
I bought one for like $9.74.
Whatever.
And I found one for like $9.70. And it was like a 4 cent
nice.
difference. Yeah, right,
Nice.
score. But she's like, "Oh, we listen every morning." I'm like, "Well, thanks. We're back tomorrow." And she's like, "We love Froggy."
Hey, MJ, people can like me too, all right? You don't have to be so jealous.
I'm not jealous.
She doesn't like me.
She loves
anything about me.
I know.
What about Roxanne?
About Roxanne.
I said Roxanne first.
Yeah,
Yeah, Andrew.
Yeah, didn't you tell us recently about your trip to the supermarket and how you saved like 30 cents?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you do this
yeah,
stuff
what
too,
did you- what did
MJ.
you do at the supermarket that was so
What was
cheap?
that about? Do you remember what the story was?
Wasn't it a fruit?
Well, cutting.
Was it
No. We talked about a woman who cut the stalk off of broccoli to save that little difference.
Yeah, was it in the vegetable aisle somewhere that you were saving?
What was my story? I remember I did mention something, but
And how your wife told you how you were, I'm trying to remember the nickname she gave you. The supermarket sleuth or something like that.
Yeah, what was the story behind that? Jeez, I forgot. All right, if anyone knows, if anyone can remind us we do so much stuff. I remember 99%. If anyone can remember what Andrew's referring to and why Michelle kept making fun of me, calling me the supermarket sleuth, if anyone can remember, dial us quickly. Final minutes of the show. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. If someone can remind me what the hell we did on our own damn show here. All right, Cousin Eddie. There's a Cousin Eddie controversy apparently in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Oh, hang on. Michelle's calling me. Hang on.
Oh, she remembers.
She must have. She hung up, though. Michelle was calling and then hung up. All right. Cousin Eddie, Shepherdsville, Kentucky. People complained because a neighbor did a Cousin Eddie National Lampoon Vacation artist rendition yard display of a Cousin Eddie in a bathrobe holding up a can of beer with a hose, apparently simulating emptying out the crapper. The bleeper's full. Like in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh, people need to lighten
Yeah,
up.
that's great. Well, what happened was people thought it was a real person standing in the front yard with a robe, and the robe would, blow up in the wind, and thought he was flashing people as they were driving by.
A Cousin Eddie Christmas display is shown in the Dogwoods. It's the Dogwoods subdivision of Shepherdsville, Kentucky. The display looked a little too real. Officers were tipped off to the Shepherdsville display, and this was on December 21st. Someone called the police, described the scene as a male standing outside. He's naked. He has a robe covering up his body. He's exposing himself. He has a hose between his legs. It's a mannequin. It's Cousin Eddie.
All right, hold on. I have the 911 call.
Do you have it? Is that what that noise was?
It was the ad for.
All right, go ahead. Play it.
All right.
He is naked. He has a robe covering.
Roll back to the beginning.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, roll back. This is the actual 911 call. No, it's not the beginning.
I'm trying. I don't want to trigger another commercial.
No, you won't. Just roll back to the. I got it.
All right.
You just got to roll back to the very beginning here.
There you go.
He is naked. He has a robe covering part of his body. He is exposing himself, and he has a hose between his legs.
All right, a strange 911 call, a neighbor on edge. The Kentucky Christmas decorations that got the cops called.
Oh, geez.
I used to work with that guy.
Hey, Andrew, can you grab this? Grab the story, put it up on MJMorningshow.com.
Who hasn't seen the movie? Doesn't know that scene? It's ridiculous.
And he's got like the hat with the flappers over the ears.
Yeah.
He's got the whole Cousin Eddie thing going on.
So the police come out.
People are calling the Shepherdsville, Kentucky police thinking it's a naked male with a. Give me a break.
Oh, wow.
Exactly the holiday spirit on display in the Dogwood Run subdivision.
Hey.
At least that's what one caller said.
Hey, good morning.
When police got there,
the cops were here laughing, taking pictures.
It's going to be Uncle Eddie. He's 10-8 Remainder. We'll be clear.
oh, Cousin Eddie.
Save the neck for me, Clark. It was full.
I mean, that's just idiotic.
This is the cheesiest newscast. I love
Hey,
it.
good morning, Shepherdsville, Kentucky News, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I mean, that's a joke. Michelle, I think, must remember. Hey, Michelle.
You would so do that with a chicken in the supermarket.
Right?
Oh, geez.
Of course he would.
I mean, Michelle, there were packs that were like $10.70, and there's other ones that were like $8.40. You really have to try to match them up.
But I'm talking about a couple of pennies or 10 or 30 cents.
Let me tell you about your couple of pennies. You're the one who twice in two different supermarkets when we were shopping right before the holidays, and you corrected the register as it rang up incorrectly for like 20 cents on some potatoes.
Oh, that's the supermarket
potatoes.
sleuth. No, the
Or
potatoes.
Yams. It was yams.
It was sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes.
At Walmart, at Walmart, I think it was Thanksgiving. Sweet potatoes at Walmart were supposed to be 98 cents a pound, but they rang up at like $1.30 a pound.
Whoa.
And I told the cashier, of course I'm going to correct that.
Okay, well, you would also look for the two most closely marked packages of chicken.
All right. And there was something at Publix. Something at Publix rang up incorrectly as well.
Was it baby bok choy?
Yes.
Because
I can hear you
a couple
saying
people
that.
have sent me a personal text.
It was something at Publix that rang up.
Because you were being a baby about it.
All right. Thanks, Michelle. Are you done with your appointment?
I am. I'm on my way home.
All right. See you in a bit.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right. So there we go. Solution. How much? Oh, man, we're running late. I got to do a couple of quick things before we get out of here. Bill Cosby. This has got to be a joke, really. Bill Cosby is going back out on a comedy tour. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? Bill Cosby is looking to return to comedy touring in 2023.
Okay, I told you I interviewed him right before all this hit the fan, right? And nobody knew what he was about. And he was on a TV show I was on, and he had the most he couldn't even see. He's near blind, just kind of wobbly, wonky-eyed. I don't think he was in great health. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he's physically fit enough to do comedy at this point.
He just sits
How
in a
about
chair.
the fact that he's like a convicted rapist?
Yeah, that too.
How about the fact that he's drugging women to have sex with them
for 40 years?
That's the
he had a tackle box with pills to knock women out.
I mean,
you had Beverly Johnson, the supermodel, had to stumble out of his New York brownstone to a cab because she was drugged.
How can anybody let him play their place?
What venue is going to allow Bill Cosby to perform?
There's no way you would go to that.
I would go.
Fester?
I want to see what the guy has.
Oh, it's to support a rapist.
Oh, my God. Fester, you are, every day you're just getting worse and worse. Before we get out of here. Oh, any update on Damar Hamlin?
Nothing new. He had a cardiac arrest on the field. He's still in critical condition. Nothing new in the last couple hours.
Again, very, very scary situation last night. Damar Hamlin playing safety for the Buffalo Bills. Damar Hamlin last night, we're talking 5 minutes, 38 seconds into the first quarter. What looked like a routine tackle. He gets hit in the chest by a Bengal, and it must have been the right time and the heartbeat. Anyway, he went into cardiac arrest. He had CPR performed on him for about 9 minutes on the field. They shocked him twice with the defib. And last we have, he's in critical condition in a medically induced coma at UCMC, at the Level 1 Trauma Center just near the stadium. So that's the latest we have. Hopefully there'll be an update later on just a very, very scary situation of what happened. And this was the original play-by-play.
This is where Joe Burrow is so good. And now another Bills player is down.
And initially, you just didn't even think that anything was wrong. So he gets hit, he falls down, then he gets back up, and then within seconds, he just falls backward like a rock. And, of course, the game was canceled last night. We don't know when the NFL is going to reschedule. That was the race to find out who was going to be top AFC seed, Bills and Bengals. And both are scheduled to play this weekend. So when are they going to replay that game? Really, the first thing that's important is Damar Hamlin. That's the number one thing. His health, his well-being. Hopefully he can make a full recovery. We just don't know yet. But remember, Booger McFarland, he was on ESPN last night.
It's something like we've never seen before. I've never seen it. I've never been a part of it. Never heard about it. Again, you hate to keep repeating the same thing, but all you can do is pray for this young man, right?
No one has seen anything like this.
Is the commissioner still Roger Goodwill?
Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell.
Is it still him?
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's going to have to come up. He's the guy, right? He comes up with the plan?
He has people.
Yeah, and that was a good decision for them to cancel the game last night.
Well, the players weren't going to play.
Right.
They had no choice.
Yeah, here's Joe Buck.
They have been administering CPR through these past two breaks that we've taken. As Lisa said, Damar Hamlin has been down for over 9 minutes now.
Ugh. Yeah, here's the play-by-play after the initial play.
That's not what any of us want to see, and everybody's around him, and just hope that he's going to be okay.
So we'll take another break.
Football scares me, man.
So that's what it sounded like last night. So thoughts, prayers for Damar Hamlin, and hopefully we'll have better news later today. 24 years old. Just a complete shocker. I mentioned earlier that there was a player that died on the field in 1971. I don't know if anyone brought that up.
I heard you mention it earlier, and Adam Schefter said it hadn't happened in, certainly recent history, but who is it in 1971?
Yeah, hang on. I had that handy, and now I can't find the damn thing.
Okay.
There was a player in Philadelphia who played for the Lions. Who was it? Who got a spinal cord?
Yeah, here we go. I've got it. Hold on a minute. October 24th, 1971, the Lions hosted the Chicago Bears at Tiger Stadium. Late in the fourth quarter, with Detroit trailing 28-23, the Lions were driving into Chicago territory, and Hughes, who entered the game as an injury replacement, caught a pass from quarterback Greg Landry for 32 yards. 3 plays later, Landry threw a pass that tight end Charlie Sanders dropped near the end zone.
Okay.
Hughes, a decoy on the play, began running back to the huddle with 1:02 showing on the clock. Suddenly, he dropped to the turf, clutching his chest around the 20-yard line, collapsed near Bears linebacker Dick Butkus. Wow. Who saw him began to convulse violently on the field. Butkus motioned to the sideline to frantically get assistance. He died. And it turned out there was a history of cardiac problems in this player's family.
Wow.
So a player did die in 1971. I don't know if anyone remembers that.
Well, if we want to kind of end on a positive note, his Damar Hamlin's GoFundMe is up to $3.6 million. So during the course of us talking, raised another near $400,000.
And that's for Toys for Kids, not for him personally.
Right.
It's Toys for Kids.
How about that name, huh? Dick Butkus.
Yeah, Dick Butkus. All right, folks, we'll see you tomorrow. Website is loaded. MJMorningshow.com. MJMorningshow.com. We'll see you tomorrow, folks. Have a great day, and let's be careful out there.